What's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law. I have just a nasty connection today. So I don't know what's going on with that. Just a second here. I am not sure what's happening. Give me just 1 second, guys. Give me just 1 second, okay? I'll be right back. I know, lots of delays, but deal with it. All right, so sorry about the delays, guys. I just got home from Florida. Okay, I just got home today, mere hours ago, and I'm gonna tell a little story. I'm sure you can see part of it already. So first, let me first get into all these super chats. Tons of super chats, and I am not going to let these go past. Thank you all for being so patient. All right. Okay, let's do a couple things. I'm going to hit these super chats. I promise. Let me talk about what happened. So I went on a trip to Florida with my family. We went to Legoland. It was great. Got to meet a couple dudes while I was down there. Anthony Almonds, as well as Chris Griffith. And we had a good night chatting and meeting up in the real world, which was pretty cool. While I was down there, I picked up this Peg Leg Porker Tennessee bourbon from the Peg Leg Porker restaurant in Nashville. I will have a little bit of that right now. And tonight, once we got home and got settled and got the kids in bed, I was going to do this thing where I would get on and I would record a video making fun of the fact that Sesame Street is suing a movie with like gritty puppet dark comedy. And I have a good plan for that video, so that's coming. But I was, we got home, been gone for like 2 weeks, and came back. Obviously had no groceries, so I went to the grocery store and I stopped by my office to grab my mail. And what do you see in the mail? What do you want? No, not Avenue Q. It's actually a new movie that's coming out. What do I see in the mail but a big, thick envelope from the Lawyers Professional Responsibility and Ethics Board, which is always what you want to come home to after a couple weeks vacation. I'm like, oh Lord, who did I ruin? Right? So I open it up and, hold on. My throat is dry. Guys, I've been driving like 30 hours. My plan was like a 10-minute video and then going to sleep. That was apple juice, Clay. That doesn't count. Drink anyway. So, okay. So I get this giant packet and I'm like, oh Lord, what did I do? Like in the real world, what did I do? And I open it up and I see my name next to Kevin Landau's name in the caption. And I've been dying ever since. So let me clear the air a little bit. I have not been sued, okay? Kevin Landau did not serve a lawsuit on me. Fortunately, because I don't have time for this. There will not be like this battle in court between Landau and Rekieta. None of that is going to happen. So I am sorry if that's what you were hoping this was. I'm not sorry because I don't want to waste my time. Because clearly, Kevin has a penchant for dumping document after document and allegation after allegation and filing for sanctions against people. And he's a frustrating litigator in that way. But what he did do was file an ethics complaint against me with the Minnesota Professional Responsibility and Ethics Board. And so we're going to go through that complaint, and then I will talk about the response from the Professional Responsibility and Ethics Board after we go through the complaint. But first point of order is to get through these super chats. Thank you guys so much for dropping them before I had even started the stream. That's awesome. Andy Kozak says pre-live stream super chat drink. Nick Collingwood says I'm super, thanks for drinking. Nicholas Melchiori says talk about blue balls. Sorry, like I said, I got this put together as fast as I could, but I did have some home stuff to take care of first. Smoky Horse says Tay drinks, but she doesn't drink and drive. Therefore, Tay is better than Landwy. Joskby says how much dicking around in court can a lawyer do before they are silenced? Also, you are rather late. It depends on the judge and what mood they're in. So, Smoky Horse says if Nick Rackets is not here in 15 minutes, we are legally allowed to leave. No, you are being detained. Much longer than 15 minutes. Loose for Love Monkey says, Nick, you tease, hinting at dirt, then making us wait. I apologize, but I had something very important to take care of. And I love you all, but then I've got Niggle saying, start the stream, Rackets. Actually, more like screaming, and that's a little bit threatening, if I may say so. Joss B says, am I being detained? Yes. Carlos Pena says, I turned 30 years old in like 5 minutes. Thanks for the birthday present, Nikki. Happy birthday, Carlos. This one's for you, buddy. This is the Peg Leg Porker 8-year bourbon. If you guys can get your hands on a bottle of that stuff, it is fantastic. Cat O'Connor gave me an emoji. What is that? Looks like a beer. Thanks, Cat. Rick U3220 says, today is my 24th birthday. This is the best gift. Happy birthday to you, pal. And one for you. Raging Hot Truth. So we see Landwy beaten by a fully engorged Nick. Oh, there will be no beatings. No beatings. I wouldn't want to threaten anybody. Or anything like that. JWC 7215 says the Goss never sleeps, and Big Bear says disbar this cuck. And finally, Space Shank says, does Maddox not realize that most of these trolls are former fans who feel slighted by him? I don't want to figure out what Maddox does and doesn't realize because I don't understand him. Maxwell Silver says, Mad Cucks better not put me in self-defense scenario. Okay. All right, buddy. Okay, guys. So here's what we're going to do. What I'm going to do. Hopefully you'll just watch, enjoy, and chat and drink and have a good time. That's what this is for. This is for having a good time. We're going to go through this complaint. As you can see by the date up here, this was received April 18th, 2018. So this has been in the making for a while. Fred Simon says, I love you, Nick. I love you back, Fred. I really do. Maybe that's a problem. I'll have to reflect on that. Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's see. I'm a little low. And again, I was going to shower. This is a mess. All right, so this is the complaint form. This goes on the front, attached to your actual complaint, sort of a short form thing. So it's got Landau's professional address, my professional address, and my office number and all that stuff. So let me be very clear about something, because I don't know if anyone understands this. Droogie1XP says the speed run sucks. Yeah, this is the slowest Diablo Greater Rift run you'll ever see. David Pecor says Kimball is a dumb poo. Ooh. All right. Let me say this because I want to be very clear to anyone who might be watching. As I have said numerous times, never contact Maddox, Kevin Landau, anybody like that. Don't do it. Don't send them things. Don't send them jokes. Don't send them messages. My personal suggestion is that you just laugh at them from a distance, and that's just fine. So, because apparently some people don't understand that when I say, and I'm not talking about you guys, I'm talking about maybe a person named Kevin Landau. When I say don't ever deal with this person, don't talk to him, don't do anything, that's what I'm saying. Landau is a drunk and he always will be. Ooh. Well, maybe. But yeah, so as always, don't contact these people. We can laugh in peace. There's no reason to personally involve them in anything. I don't know of anybody doing that. I just want to be clear that that's my position. And I'm sure you'll gather why in a little bit. Okay. All right, so that's boring. So if you are someone other than the client, now, so here's what typically happens. A responsibility and ethics complaint comes from a client that you have wronged somehow, and then they would raise a complaint against you. Or sometimes you would do, if you're like another attorney that has practiced with them, like in the same office, maybe you would do it. But in this case, it's an attorney who has never met me. So that's great. Reek says, Nick, you magnificent fatherless man. I cut a Ron White stand-up short. What? Uh-oh. It begins. There we go. I cut a Ron White stand-up short and rushed a 40 ounce and suffered rubbing one out, a quick one to Melissa McCarthy. Ew, instead of Mary Elizabeth Winstead because my brain got effed. Gross, dude. Lucifer Love Monkey says, what if I'm in New York and need a lawyer? Then I suggest you contact a different attorney, like maybe Jordan Greenberger, Sarah Matz, Michael Munoz. Those seem to be competent attorneys that could represent you in New York. Hopefully, I will be having a interview with one or more of them soon, and we can hear what kind of other practice areas they deal with other than this weird defamation entertainment law. Nick Collingwood says, if Clay says Super Chat drinked, he is confirmed gay. All right. Not that there's anything wrong with that. All right. So, guys, I want you to understand. So you can't see my Adobe Acrobat bar. But when I say see attached letter, let me move this for a second so you can see the page count. I don't know if you can see that up here. Right up here. That's 2. We're on page 2 of 104. So buckle up. We got a ways to go. Mickey G. Epic law battles of history. Nick Rekieta versus Drunken Dog Bite. Now, let me... David Pecor says, I blame Kimball for all the dumb stuff. Okay, let me clarify though. The 104 pages is not all a letter. That is including a bunch of exhibits. The letter's not that long, but we're going to go... So a lot of them are going to go pretty quick, okay? I have not read this full thing yet. I've not read this full thing. I have skimmed it. I know how everything goes, and we'll talk about all that. But so some of this stuff I will be surprised by. But let's go. Let's go with this. Least Creative says, my amount and message will be public. I think they will be. Elijah Watson, we love Nick's long streams, 104 pages. All right, let's get into this. So this is from the Landau Group, April 16th, to the Office of Lawyers' Professional Responsibility. RE, complaint against attorney Nicholas Robert Rekieta. There's my attorney license number. So yeah, again, for all those people who keep asking, like, if I'm actually an attorney, yep, there it is. Oh, I'm a little quiet. I'm going to turn this up just a bit. Hopefully this doesn't ruin everything. Okay. So, Maxwell Silver says, Mad Cucks is a fat cow and can't take a joke. Sad. Oh, are you bringing that beef in here? I mean, I guess if you super chat it back and forth, that's okay. And yeah, I know the lag is bad, and I'm sorry about that. I don't know what's up with my connection. It seems to be stabilizing though, but it was slow. Maybe it's just because I was gone for a while. Okay, YouTube is gay says, isn't it a bad idea to read a document of accusations against you if you don't know its contents? What if you're incriminating yourselves? One, like I said, I've read the rest of this document that we'll get to, so I'm okay with reading through this. We'll say. X Mickey G says, Landau writes lawsuits and apostrophes and complaints in over-pixelated garbage. So apparently the calling me midstream thing is back on the menu. Now, it's interesting that this complaint will allege some things like harassment. What's interesting is calling someone over and over again when they've asked you to stop publicly, which I have, please stop, is also harassment. That's actual harassment. What I am doing is not. I don't ever contact Kevin Landau. It would be hard to make a case for harassment for someone I've never even attempted to contact. All right. So let's get into this. Mr. Rekieta has violated multiple rules of professional conduct. Spoiler alert. No, I haven't. I am counsel to the plaintiffs in a case pending in New York Supreme Court. Not pending anymore, homie. Titled George Azunian versus Dax Herrera et al. Mr. Rekieta is apparently friends or business associates with one of the defendants in that case, Dax Herrera, also known as Dick Masterson. I mean, I think that's a stretch, right? Because I'm a fan of Dick Masterson and created content related to an issue that he's involved in, and I met him at the Chicago Road Rage. I wouldn't say I'm unfriendly with Dick, and I would love to be friends with him. I mean, I guess I don't know what the requirement for friends is, but that seems a little bit forward. I'm certainly not a business associate of Dax Herrera. Never have been. In fact, the first time you accused me of that, I addressed it when I said I don't represent him in any way. And I've stated over and over again that I don't represent anyone in this party. Or in this lawsuit. Any of the parties in this lawsuit. Don't forget you represent the Here's What I Don't Get podcast, so you're a culpable party. Yeah, there you go. Mr. Kill Everything says, Kimball is a banana-wearing worthless dolt. How do you wear a banana? Okay. Here we go. Mr. Rekieta has taken a perverse and unethical. Those are conclusory statements, Mr. Landau. Maybe you should have listened to the judge. Interest in this case, and in myself, personally, as counsel and as counsel for the plaintiffs. No, not personally, actually. Just insofar as you have represented Maddox in the worst way. In the worst way. Like, honestly, Maddox, I think, could have better representation than what you have done. That's my personal and professional opinion, is that I think someone else could have done a better job. From the start, I've been very clear that I thought that whoever was representing Maddox was doing a poor job. So, there you go. That's my professional interest in you. My personal interest in you only stretches so far as you tried to stop someone from speaking. And when I say someone, I mean everyone. You tried to stop everyone from speaking. So, in the interest of free speech, I did talk about that. And maybe that was rude. I'll admit that. Maybe that was rude. And if that was rude, sir, I apologize to you. So, if you're watching, Kevin, I'm genuinely sorry for making fun of you to the level that I did. I guess. I don't know. I'm sad that you're so upset by it. How's that? I'm sorry that you're so upset by it. I don't think you should have tried to restrict all of the speech of the entire internet. So that's where that goes. Other than that, I have no interest in you. I think it's... Oh, wait. Not correct. Not correct. I do have interest in you. And I am going to put this out there right now. Kevin Landau, to you, sir. As soon as this lawsuit is complete, because I don't want to compromise your clients in any sort of way, and I don't want you to do anything that would compromise them. I would love to interview you on this show. I would love for you to have the time of day to state, to call me whatever you want and say I'm completely wrong. That's fine. And you can plug the Landau group and do everything. I would love that more than anything if you want to do that. And I will send you a very polite professional email about that. But I'm waiting until the lawsuit is done with respect to your clients, because I actually, if you haven't noticed, I respect both clients' ability to conduct this lawsuit within their rights. So I don't want you to come on to my show and compromise something for your clients. So once you're all done, you are 100% invited. And I will give you free reign. You can make fun of me all you want. And there's lots of things. Don't get me wrong. And if you're not careful, I'll 8-mile you and I will make fun of myself so that you can't say anything that would offend me in the streets. Nicholas Melchiori says, really gunning for that interview. I think that would be a great interview. Because I have a feeling, and I don't know if you've seen these videos, Kevin, but there are some videos where I praise the work you're taking on. I don't know, and I literally don't know. This is not a negative. I don't know that you're doing it the best way, because I've seen this lawsuit, and that taints my ability to read your other lawsuits objectively, I think. But I don't know that you're representing the best. But some of the cases that you're taking, if they're true cases and real defendants with this situations, I respect the heck out of you for taking those cases and trying to help those people out. So if you want to come talk about that, I would love to. I'd love to talk about it. If you want to tell me everything I got wrong about Alma-Siga or your DUIs or whatever, go ahead. Come on here and just ream me out. You're a lawyer. You can do it. It'll be fun. I will send you a polite email when litigation is complete, because like I said, I don't want to mess with your case. Clay's roommate says, "Oh, Nick, that man will need therapy after our super chat." All right. Anyway, let's go on. I've taken a perverse and unethical interest in this case and in myself, Kevin, personally, and as counsel for the plaintiffs. I've never met Mr. Rekieta, never spoken with him, and have never had any interactions with him professionally or otherwise. I do not even practice in the same state as Mr. Rekieta. Well, and interestingly, I don't practice in the same state as you, Mr. Landau. However, he continues to engage in professional misconduct against me. Conclusory, not going to work. And my clients, not true. By creating appalling and vicious content. Well, I think that's a bit strong. You can dislike it, but it's not appalling or vicious. That he posts online. There are a lot of commas here that you don't need. need a red pen for this letter. Reek says, I forget if you're a beer guy or not. Either way, I'd recommend Old Rasputin if you haven't tried it. Also, a Landau interview would probably end in another arrest for him driving drunk and Skyping. Aw. Aw. Oh, and Kevin, if you don't understand what happened there, I read the words of someone else on the stream. Those are not my words. We'll get to that in a little while. Because you must not know that. Because if you knew that I was reading something someone else wrote, you would not have lied. Like, because if you knew what I was reading, what someone else wrote, and then you attributed those words to me, that would be a lie, right? That would be you lying about me to the professional responsibility board. And we wouldn't want to accuse you of lying to the court or to an administrative panel about someone else. You wouldn't do that, would you, Kevin? Would you knowingly lie about what someone did? Because I wouldn't want to insinuate that. So I'll just assume that you don't understand that when I read the things that someone else writes, that those are their words, that I'm just reading because it's a super chat, and that's part of the shtick. Droogie1XP says, can reach Kevin at 867-5309 regarding interviews. Mikey G says, commas are just low-flying apostrophes. All right. I'm never going to get through this letter. Okay. Let's see. That he posts online, which is designed to incite and encourage his fans to harass, ridicule, and threaten me. No. Nope. Never, never, never have I said that someone should contact you. Whenever anyone asks, I say no. You should just leave them be, and we will laugh at them from afar. Every single time someone has asked me, I've said, can I send Kevin Landau the Lolsuit toilet paper? That's right here. Right here, buddy. I got 2 of them. Can I send that to him? You know what? Don't do that. Should I send whatever? Should I send a book to Kevin Landau? No. Nope. You shouldn't send him anything. You should never contact him ever. That's been what I've said every single time. So certainly my content is not designed to incite and encourage my fans, which I guess I have fans, to harass, ridicule, and threaten you and your clients. Nope. Not a single time have I ever done that. Keck7 go, welcome back, Nick, and thank you. Thank you, Landau, for this. And Matt White says, thank you for the super chat, buddy, even though you didn't send a message. No, you should not send a grammar book to Landau. What are the consequences of lying to this board and group? Probably nothing. Probably nothing. I mean, maybe I could file an ethics complaint back, but why? This is how I will deal with this issue. How's that? Just let the world see. You have about 6,200 fans. That's more than Dick. Well, thank you. Thank you. I don't like to presume that everyone who follows me is a fan or whatever, but we'll keep going here. All right. Further, Mr. Rekieta is creating said content for the express purpose of trying to negatively and publicly influence the above entitled lawsuit. Liar! I am doing this for the express purpose of making money off of it. Okay? And the second express purpose is to make some people laugh and to give some education to people, because I cover more than your stupid lawsuit, okay? This is... I haven't read this, right? I haven't read all of the letter. Oxygen Dues, contact Kevin Landau and send him everything. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Alan Foster, I'm in disbelief right now, Rackets. Me too, buddy. Me too. Hashtag me too. So, and no, like, first of all, you can't publicly influence a lawsuit, right? Like, there's no... Are you saying that my videos have the reach to taint a jury in New York? I don't think so, pal. Or that Judge Ramos is like a viewer and will be influenced by this? I hope so, because it'd be funny, but I don't think Judge Ramos is out here watching my YouTube content unless you put it in the document for him to review, which would be silly. Jesse Samuel Anderson says, money? Yeah. oddly enough, I love getting money from doing this. I mean, I get a lot of laughs out of it and would probably do it even with less money, but I love getting the money from it. Okay. So I can't publicly influence the above entitled lawsuit, especially now because it's largely dismissed, except for the one guy who you get to replead against. Good luck with that. Elijah Watson says, I, Nick Rekieta, encourage all my fans to send Landau offensive correspondence that I'm not currently reading someone else's, and I'm not currently reading someone else's words. All right. Gatscat says, I warned you, my dude. Yeah, you did. And Dmitry Barsukov says, can you afford your own legal fees? No. Oh, and okay, so funny, I don't know, funny to me, tangent. When I was taking family law in law school, my teacher was an adjunct professor. He was a practicing family law attorney in Minnesota. Very good guy, by the way. If you have a contentious divorce issue in Minnesota and you're like a high net worth individual or you're divorcing a high net worth individual, you should look up my family law professor. And if you ever want his contact information for serious litigation, contact me and I would be happy to pass it along. He's the type of guy who takes family law issues to trial when they deserve to go to trial. Michael O'Sullivan says, what could Landau possibly gain from this? I don't know. I think he's trying to send a warning shot or to let me know that I'm being watched. Like, I think it's a professional threat. Actually, no. And the stream is going south, so I'll wait just a second. Okay. Let me get Mr. Nope 100 countersuit. No, I'm not going to countersue him at this point. Like, there'd be no purpose in that. Jesse Samuel Anderson says, do not read this. Read the letter. Well, I will. But I have a side thing about what he could gain from this. I don't think he would gain anything from this, but he seems to be the kind of litigious lawyer that people don't like because they're constantly filing motions and raising a ruckus. And I'm watching my bit rate just drop and rise and drop and rise. It's really shameful. Okay. All right, here we go. David Pecor says, Landau is the type of guy who can suck his own pee. Then his wife wants in on the action. He stares at her and says, I do it better, sue me, wife. Well, Gatscat says, I guess this confirms who the downvotes were from. Yeah. All right. Okay. Therefore, Mr. Rekieta is engaging in conduct that is prejudicial to the administration of justice. Absolutely not. I have no outcome or no influence on the outcome of any case. That's silly. In violation of the Minnesota rules of professional conduct. We'll see. Zamcast says, a pack of rabid dogs has invaded the Rackets compound. Time to call in the pound. All right. Minnesota rules of professional conduct. Rule 8.4 states, in pertinent part, that it is professional misconduct for a lawyer to A, violate or attempt to violate the rules of professional misconduct or conduct, rules of professional conduct, knowingly assist or induce another to do so, or to do so in the through the acts of another. C, engage in conduct involving dishonesty, fraud, deceit, or misrepresentation. I have not been dishonest, fraudulent, deceitful, and I have never misrepresented myself. You, on the other hand, have done all of those things in this letter. So that's a little bit interesting, isn't it? Engage in conduct that is prejudicial to the administration of justice. I have not given any information to Judge Ramos, and there is no way that my influence is big enough to taint a New York jury pool. So that's silly. G, harass a person on the basis of sex, race, age, creed, religion, color, national origin, disability, sexual orientation, status with regard to public assistance, ethnicity, or marital status in connection with a lawyer's professional activities. What? How is that impertinent part? Did I say you were too old or something? Like, what? What does that have to do with anything? Do you have a disability? Like, because I don't think I made fun of you for having a disability. Anyway, I honestly have no idea why he would include that, other than maybe to taint my image with the Professional Responsibility Board. David Paycor says hashtag Maddox lost. Oxygen Induced says, did he skip B? He did say impertinent part. So apparently B wasn't pertinent. I don't remember what Rule 8.4 B is. If someone wants to look up, go ahead. I'll read it. I just don't know what it is. In the instant case, as set forth below, Mr. Rekieta has violated the above sections of Rule 8.4 and therefore has committed professional misconduct. We'll see, won't we? Mr. Rekieta's conduct also violates MPRC Rule 2.1, 2.3b, 3.5h, 4.1, 4.2, 4.4a, Rule 5.5, Rule 7.1, 7.3a, as demonstrated herein. Well, that will be interesting, won't it? Now, here is the part where I will give him mild deference. Okay? I'm going to be polite to Mr. Landau. No attorney should ever have to be subjected to the ridicule, harassment, and scorn that I've been subjected to by Mr. Rekieta. Let me take a little issue with that. I have not subjected you to anything because I've not sent you anything. Okay? But, am I making fun of you too much? I don't know. Some people would probably think so. I don't, but you might. I can understand that. So, and it is especially troubling that such conduct is from another member of the bar. Oh, if we want to talk about troubling conduct from a member of the bar, I don't know if you want to go down that road, pal, for simply taking on a case or client that the other attorney disagrees with. No, no, you're misunderstanding why I started covering this. I started covering this because you authored the complaint, or Maddox did, but I think it was you, so abysmally bad that it was newsworthy because it was funny how terrible it was. Okay? That's why I started reading it. Had nothing to do with my disagreement with Maddox. It was how badly the case was written was why I started covering it. Let's see. Landau gets in trouble for his conduct with multiple bars. Oh. It is one thing to take an interest in a case, express constructive... Now, listen to how he frames this. Express constructive opinions in debate. However, it is quite another to publicly harass. I can't publicly harass you. Okay? Like, harassment involves me contacting you after you have asked me to stop. You haven't ever asked me to do anything, so I can't harass you, okay? And publicly harassing you is a weird thing, because I can't publicly force you to watch these. You choose to. Thank you, by the way, for your views. Elijah Watson, Tess is trying to discourage us giving you money. Tess, don't make me unmod you. So I can't publicly harass you. Publicly demean. Maybe I shouldn't publicly demean you. But I'm not doing it simply because you're associated with the case. I'm demeaning your work because I think your work is bad. And maybe unethical. And client, and then harass, demean, and attack that attorney and the parties he represents. I haven't attacked anyone. Again, I'm speaking out to the internet. And the internet has the full authority to watch or not watch what I do. That is just fine. So I am not sending you links. I'm not emailing you. I'm not bothering you in any sort of way. Okay. And the parties he represents under the authority of his law office for the express purpose. Guys, do you know what express means? Express purpose of trying to negatively and publicly influence a pending lawsuit. That's not the express purpose. The express purpose was actually to make fun of how badly the complaint was written. And then as everything progressed, it was the express purpose. And the explicit purpose was just to educate people on the various aspects of law that were coming up in the case. Clay's roommate says, at Tess, your ideas are bad and you should feel bad. Yes, I do have... No, I don't have a local recording. I did, but the stream stopped. Shoot. No. Hopefully the YouTube recording won't skip for later. I apologize. I had actually started a local recording and then I broke it. I'm sorry. Gatscat says, please sue. All your videos become a matter of law. So let's see. All right. I encourage the former. He's talking about taking an interest in the case and expressing constructive opinions in debate. There is no requirement for opinions to be constructive or debate to be constructive. That is not how the First Amendment works, and and it is protected by the First Amendment. The latter, however, receives no protection, except I didn't do the latter. I have not done the latter, and is undignified and not befitting an attorney, and constitutes professional misconduct. These are all conclusory, of course, especially whereas here the videos are made in his capacity as an attorney for the purpose of harassing, that's not the purpose, and attacking counsel, and to negatively influence a pending lawsuit. Way to misrepresent that whole thing, pal. As an attorney, Mr. Rekieta should know better, and if he doesn't, then he lacks the character and fitness to be a lawyer. That's rich. And his conduct reflects poorly on the integrity and competence of the bar. Integrity and competence, my friend. Is species one of those protected classes? Oddly enough, I turned 39 today. Whoever suggested... No. It's not the stream that's the problem. My bitrate is dropping and rising radically. Like, there's nothing I can do about that. It's my internet connection itself that is having the trouble. It's not the stream lagging. One lag equals one drink. Yeah, I don't know why it's so bad today. You know what? Let me see one thing real quick here, guys. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not sure why my bitrate keeps dropping. We did have a storm come through here, so I apologize. But let's go on. Let's go on. Are more people watching than usual? Yeah, we're having a pretty good stream. Okay. So let's see. I can't publicly influence a pending lawsuit. Stop saying that. Gatscat says we were all wrong about Landau. All along, he's been a super genius who is currently hacking your internet like a Bond villain. He smoked 9 alcohols. Let's see. Constitutes... Yeah. As an attorney, I should know better. I lack the fitness and character, apparently, and my conduct reflects poorly on the... See MSA 481.062. Every attorney at law shall maintain the respect due to courts of justice and judicial officers. Attorneys are given an awesome responsibility, which is not to be taken lightly or abused and used in such wanton and repugnant manner. Take the joke, Kevin. Take the joke. Set your stream delay to normal latency. I'll do that. Okay, just a second, guys. Here we go. Oh, you know what? I can't do it midstream, so we're just stuck with it. We're stuck with it. Hopefully, the playback won't be so bad. This chit show says the Bible. Hey, buddy. How's it going? All right. I'm taking way too long. Mr. Rekieta has created his own YouTube station. Channel, Kevin. It's a channel. YouTube channel. His own Twitter page. How dare I, as an attorney, have a Twitter page. And his own Patreon page. Yes. These social media pages were created by Mr. Rekieta following the filing of the above entitled case. Lies! You liar! I created my YouTube channel 6 years ago, and I created my Twitter page, I think something like 6 years ago as well. Do not lie about me. My Patreon page is following the filing of the above entitled case. But stop lying about me. It's not okay. Reset the stream. I went back and it's all choppy. The recording is messed up. Like, reset the stream would, I think, involve me resetting the my router, because I've been gone for a couple weeks. So we're gonna plug on. I appreciate the feedback, but I think we just need to go ahead and go through. So we'll see. I'm sorry if it's choppy, unfortunately. But, you know, I babble a lot, so you're probably only getting choppy in the babbling. These social media... After the above entitled case, that's a lie. Mr. Rekieta creates videos, which he posts to YouTube, and charges a monthly subscription fee for on his Patreon page. Nope. I don't charge a monthly subscription fee for any videos. All of the videos I do are released on YouTube to everybody. The monthly subscription fee, which is the Patreon, I assume, that goes for the Discord access, among other things. The videos Mr. Rekieta creates are appalling. Well, that's rude. Most of the content he creates is about me. No, most is not about you. No, a lot of it is about the Lolsuit. Maybe a plurality of it is about the Lolsuit. I can actually check this figure. Let's see. Let's see how many videos I have. We've done what? 32 videos total about the Lolsuit. Maybe 34. We'll be generous and say 35. Total number of videos, 114, Kevin. Learn to count. There are 114 videos on my YouTube station. And at most, being generous, 35 are about you. And they're not all about you, actually. Most of them are not. So, thank you for lying about that. And the above entitled case. No, it's not. Even going there, most of the content is not about the above entitled case. Again, only about a third of it. And it will be increasingly less of a percentage as time goes on, and this lawsuit is a long, distant memory. Wherein he defames, harasses, threatens, and attempts to embarrass and belittle me and negatively influence this lawsuit. None of those things are true. In his capacity as a licensed attorney. Further, I don't know what you mean by that. Like, in my capacity as an attorney, I can't do any of those things. I can do those in my capacity as a person commenting about it. Internet tab. Is this serious? Someone messing with Nick? Well, Kevin Landau has seriously sent this ethics complaint against me. Raging hot truth. Hashtag land lies. Yeah. It is a little embarrassing that he is blatantly lying about me. But we'll carry on. Further, he uses these videos to encourage and incite his and Mr. Herrera's fans and listeners to take actions against me. Literally never. Again, we'll say that, I'm going to say it and move on. Never, ever have I encouraged anyone to take any action against you, you liar. Or my clients. Liar. In the above entitled case, and will often request his fans to send embarrassing or private information about me. Nope, not true, that he may use in his show or when he appears on Mr. Herrera's show. That is not true at all. Reek says he's mad because you gave him so little attention. How many times must he get his driver's license revoked for you to notice him? The vast majority of videos Mr. Rekieta, you can't even spell my name right, creates are directed at me, my clients, and the above entitled case. No. Learn definitions, Kevin. Vast majority would be something along the lines of 80+%, I'm guessing. There's not a physical or a hard definition. A majority would be 51%, and we're not even there. We're around 30%. You liar. Thousands of people have viewed his videos. Thank you. Oh, wait. For which he charges money for. Nope, I don't charge anybody money to watch these videos. Stop lying. And is currently making $864 per month on his Patreon page, which is actually just a hair above your hourly rate for the quality work that you do. Thousands of people have viewed his videos, and he tends to release one every week. I tend to release more than one every week. I have not reviewed each video that Mr. Rekieta has released, clearly, because each video is over 2 hours long. Lie. And he has released up to 30 of them. 114, my friend. 114. We're on page 5, Tess. Keep up. Tillip says, someone is lying and implying to get someone fired from their job. Last time I heard of this, it ended up in a $20,000 Patreon. Jesse Samuel Anderson, you told me I had to pay. Elijah Watson, here's the $2 you charged to watch the video. Yes, all of you pay me now so you can watch this. However, among some of the videos I have reviewed, Mr. Rekieta discusses my private life and posts my confidential information. Never have I posted your confidential information. Only public information, you liar. And requests his fans to do the same. Never have I done that. Mr. Rekieta goes on for hours about how terrible of a lawyer I am. Only when you are. How bad of a job I am doing in this case. You lost it. How wrong plaintiffs were for filing their lawsuit. Yes! Terribly wrong. Terribly wrong. Judge agrees. He slings profanities at me. Not often. Only in the first 3 videos. He makes numerous defamatory and repugnant statements towards me. Nope, never. Wang. Kevin lies to the bar while drunk in his car. Landau. Ooh. Ooh. And threatens that the harassment will get worse and continue. What? When? When have I done that? Are you talking about the time where you said, when you tried to silence the entire internet and I said, you can't silence me because I have nothing to do with New York? All right. Therefore, it is clear that Mr. Rekieta is not only trying to negatively influence this lawsuit in a public fashion and forum and in his capacity as an attorney, but is also creating his content to embarrass and demean me. That's not why I'm creating it. That is an ancillary effect, maybe. So I withdraw from further representing the plaintiffs in the above entitled case? No. No. My personal interest would be that you continue to represent them because you have a penchant for not winning. I have suggested that Maddox consult an attorney about discussions he's had with you because from an outside look, it looks like maybe you advised him to lie under oath and maybe you then advised him to admit to perjury in an affidavit. I did suggest that Maddox consult an attorney in his jurisdiction about that, as I would with anybody. Let's see. Sam Russell says, dude, you're just cyberbullying him. Yes, apparently. Tombkeeper says, test chat is best chat. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Further, withdrawing from representation. I've never suggested that you would withdraw from representation. I would hope that Maddox would fire you for not doing well or for doing some of the things that you've done. But that's about it. Scream of Cthulhu says, is this a second coming of Jack Thompson? Will we see gay porn submitted to the official court record when Landau sues for wrongful disbarment? I hope not. Gatscat says, how much to get one of my quotes in the complaint? I don't know. Okay. That constitutes conduct that is prejudicial to the administration of justice. Nope. Never suggested that. I don't believe I've ever suggested that you withdraw or tried to force you to withdraw from representation. For instance, in a recent video that Mr. Rekieta made on April 1st, mind you, this was submitted on April 16th. I think he signed it and it was stamped by the board on April 18th. He constantly calls me stupid or a stupid lawyer. Yeah, that's a personal opinion of how you've been conducting this case, and implies that he will continue to harass and demean me. Time code 2705. So flipping stupid. Further, in this video, he states that he will be coming out with a video about how bad I represent my other clients. And I think I did. Your Alma-Siga case, in which case you got them sanctions against you. Nick, please stop this bully. I can't. Can't stop the bully. And then March 30th, at an hour 9 minutes, on to an hour and 11 minutes, where he calls me a drunken, dog bite, bike riding dumby, and in a front, even titles the video as targeted harassment stream. I did title it as targeted harassment stream. But the reason I did is because some idiot on Twitter called it a targeted harassment stream. So that's why I did it. Bookham Dano says, how much do I have to super chat to be a mod too? A lot, I guess. Clay's still on probationary mod period. He could be removed at any time. D Dotson 45 says, oh, Evil One Rackets, here's the money you command for your video. Also, I made the required calls and sent the packages to your nemesis. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Wink, nod. Jeez. Guys, this is so dumb. On March 14th, 2018, Mr. Rekieta released a video that has been viewed by nearly 5,000 people. This video is appalling. You keep stating these opinions. Sam Russell says, did he at least serve you in your own state? He didn't serve me, actually. This came from the Professional Responsibility Board, not from Kevin Landau. This is the first time I've seen it, even though it was filed initially in April. Mezen says, this is to help you with your lawyer fees. Thanks, buddy. Madeline says, is he simultaneously saying you're interfering with the case in the public way with your videos while also saying you require payment for all of them? Yes. Yes, he is. In this video, Mr. Rekieta is relentless in his vitriol and hatred towards me and spends the vast majority of 2 hours slinging profanities at me. Guys, this video was in March of 2018. The vast majority of time, he said I was slinging profanities at him. Do we think that's true? Lorraine says Poppy.Church is here. Well, thank you, Poppy.Church, and thank you, Lorraine, for being here. I only used profanities, I believe, in my first 3 videos, which were all filmed in November and December. I think maybe all in November. After that, I stopped using profanity when people started, when this became more than just a private video for a couple people to watch. So please do not say that I am using profanities at you for the vast majority of the time, you liar. And I will call you a lying liar who lies over and over again. Derek Gooley says, Springfield Colt 45. Also, please don't turn into such a garbage person as Asterius over lawsuit defense money. Okay, let's see. Let's see if he tells the truth anymore here. Defaming me. Nope, never defamed you. Not once. Everything I have said about you, I believe to be true 100% and have no information to the contrary. And I think I can confirm everything I've said about you. I mean, other than opinion statements like you're doing a bad job and Maddox should maybe talk to another lawyer about, what you've done for him. But that's all opinion. Therefore, it's not defamatory. I know you have issues with the defamation elements. But every statement of fact I've said about you, I believe can be backed up by public documents, sir. So please stop saying I'm defaming you. And calling me all sorts of names. Yes, I have done that. And accusing your clients, the plaintiffs in the above entitled case of lying and committing crimes such as perjury. Yes, because they did. Further, in this video, his face is beet red from screaming and yelling at me. Guys, my face is probably beet red from alcohol and the heat in my office because it's kind of warm. But, I guess. Mitchell Gorman says, life gave me free stuff and so I got drunk. Thanks for slinging relentless vitriol at Landau, Nick. Someone has to do it. And I will take on this mantle with pride and with humility. Raging Hot Truth says, that skull blanker is crazy as S blank T if he thinks there's any F blank king profanity on this stream. My throat is really dry, so I have some apple juice over here as well. This is non-spiked apple juice because my medication keeps my throat dry when I take it. Jesse Samuel Anderson, is he judging you by the color of your skin? Maybe. Yeah, being red in the face. Beat, not beat. Oh, yeah. Oh, goodness. Wrong beat, Landau. From screaming and yelling at me and genuinely is threatening and angry at me. I have never threatened you. Not once. Angry with you, yes. Yes, I think that you are the type of lawyer that makes other lawyers look bad. While you're trying to paint me in that way, I think you're doing a just fine job of making everyone hate lawyers on your own. Okay, see screenshots annexed in Exhibit A where we can see my beet red face. See time code 2020. Client's an idiot. Yeah, your client is an idiot. Both of them, actually. Asterio says, Nick, make fun of that man who made fun of me. Reek says, Landweed, a cop arresting him. No, officer, I'm not drunk. I've been screaming behind the wheel. Okay. And Dustin, the Dick Show, says, but Nick, what about that time you said Landau was a heaping pile of trash that you were going to fold over and drop into a volcano? Episode 16, 1 hour, 42 minutes and 37 seconds. I hope that's a real reference. Because if I said I was going to fold him over and drop him in a volcano, I don't remember that, but I love it. I love it. We're still on page 5, Elijah. Keep up. Don't worry. It goes really fast soon. It goes really fast soon. His letter is not 105 pages. Most of it is screenshots and stuff like that. So that's what it takes. Okay. Let's see. Client's an idiot. Yes. Calls me a stupid coward. Yep. Calls me a scumbag. Yep. And states that my clients are lying and committed perjury or forgery. Yeah. Calls me stupid on several times. Yep. Refers to my brain function. Now this one I take umbrage with. He says that I said F-U-C-K Landau, which I did not. I even checked. Someone super chatted that, and I said F asterisk 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 Landau, reading the super chat. Do not lie about me saying that I'm using a profane word about you unless it happened. And maybe it did somewhere else, but it did not there. Derek Gooley, lol, Asterios couldn't even gin up a $10 super chat to counter mine. What a cuck. Aw. Guys, don't fight. As an idiot, the quote is idiot. I say idiot a lot, so in my defense. I don't know if that was about you or not. States that I'm, quote, such a dirtbag. Refers to me as a coward for filing a frivolous complaint against Dick Masterson. Yep. Accuses my clients of committing a crime because they did. Only because they did. That's why. Refers to me as whiny and sniveling. Yes. Don't worry, Kevin. This doesn't come off as whiny and sniveling at all. Again, state that my clients committed crimes. Yes. Committed forgery. Yes. Refers to me as dumb. Yeah, I did. Guilty. Dustin, the Dick Show says, oh, hey, friend at Ghoulie. We'll talk about the PUBG Fortnite lawsuit maybe at some point. Send me some info about it. And Kevin, that was not a request to send private information about you. That was about PUBG and Fortnite. I know everything I do is about you, but that wasn't. Gatsgat says, me thinks you forgot the packages your secret patrons were ordered to send, but for real, what are the consequences of this? By the way, Landau is a drunk. We'll get to the consequences of this very soon. Now, this is a problem for me. At 2 hours and 6 minutes, Mr. Rekieta's wife appears laughing and stays on until it ends. So, I don't believe that was related to you at all, actually. But, yeah, and she can. She can come on the stream and laugh and then leave whenever she wants. And that has nothing to do with you. Bringing her into it is pretty low. Now, mind you guys, Kevin Landau could have emailed me at any time to say anything to me, but he chose not to. In a video he posted on March 2nd, he's going backwards in time here. Mr. Rekieta really crosses the line, and upon information and belief, it appears that he is working directly for Mr. Herrera. You liar. You liar. And that is really, really irritating because I cannot represent Mr. Herrera in California or New York. So I definitely am not doing that. And if you're accusing me of a crime, you are a piece of trash. Because I have not ever represented that I work for Mr. Herrera or any other defendant in this case. I've made it very clear that I can't represent any of them. I would love to. Believe me, I would love to be in court and have oral argument against you. Rather than anyone else on earth, I would choose you as the opposite to my oral argument. Because it would be the funniest, easiest day I've had in court, maybe ever. Welcome to Whose Law Is It Anyway, where everything is made up and the truth doesn't matter. Absolutely. At Rekieta Law, summary of the stream, please. I'll do a summary video later, after this. Yeah. I'll do it, yeah. And so, for anyone who's watching, if you don't want to watch anymore, that's fine. Keep the view going. That's great. But I will do a summary of this stream and talk about it where I don't read through everything. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. So I do not work for Mr. Herrera, as I've stated on multiple occasions. Gatsgat says he brought Miss Rackets into this. Get the pitchforks. In this video, Mr. Rekieta discusses a driving under the influence charge I received. Yep. He releases most of the pleadings, police reports, court files, and transcripts from this case. All public. Including a petition to restore my driver's license, which included my private medical information, which he discusses openly. Yeah, it's public, pal. It's public. This video is unconscionable, and Mr. Rekieta should be publicly disciplined for creating it. For what? It's public. Keck7 Go. Daddy Racket, stop yelling. Think of the kids. And for having a complete lack of professional judgment, respect for third parties, other lawyers, and even basic ethics. Remember, I did this when you tried to suppress the free speech of the entire earth. Further, in this video, he requests his fans to send any cases or information about me that he could use on his show. Yep. Send me public documents that you would be interested in learning about. Absolutely. Moreover, in this video, he discusses the sentence I received, makes fun of my father, another attorney, pretends to be him in disgusting voices. I didn't pretend to be your father. I used disgusting voices, whatever those are, to read the words of your father. But, I mean, if this is a commentary on my ability to do impressions, I guess that's fair. And states that my father wasted the court's time and the prosecutor's time by filing all sorts of frivolous motions. He did. He did, and you know he did. You know it. See also where Mr. Rekieta discusses my petition for driver's license restoration, which includes reference to my medical information, which is public. I don't have the ability to get a private or sealed court record about you, you dork. I'm just a human. I'm just a human here. I didn't even acquire these. Someone sent them to me. So there's that too. You know, even if they were private, I would have the ability to talk about them under the newsworthiness exception. Blah, 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 blah. Such as revealing that I have asthma. That I was lying about having asthma. Wait, did I reveal that you were lying about having asthma and that I was allegedly asthmatic? You are allegedly asthmatic. I have no basis to verify this. I'm not actually making a statement of fact. I'm going off of what you, or more appropriately, your father, said in open court. The voice you did for his dad. I don't even remember what voice it was. Chris Primer says, wake up to go to the bathroom only to find this dumpster fire. Get dunked, Landau. Further, at time code 2 hours, 18 minutes, Mr. Rekieta asks his fans to send in information about me. He indicates that certain documents were not given to him, but that of the documents that were given to him, he released. Yeah, I don't have every document related to you ever. And I think no, I don't know if I released all of them, actually. So I'm not sure about that. Upon information and belief, the documents that were given to him by Mr. Herrera. No, actually, no. It is important to give the grievance committee a little context as to why this is so troubling and further violates professional rules of conduct. 10 p.m. agenda says, I wonder if he's billing Maddox's account for writing and filing this complaint. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, here's the context, guys. On or about February 8th, Mr. Herrera tweeted certain documents and private information concerning myself. The documents indicated in this tweet are the same documents that were discussed and disclosed by Mr. Rekieta's on his March 2nd, 2018 show. Also annexed in Exhibit D are screenshots of the respective documents Mr. Rekieta released on his show. On or about February 22nd, 2018, in the above entitled case, plaintiffs filed a motion for a temporary restraining order to try and enjoin the earth from talking. I didn't really release the documents. Didn't you just link to them? No, I don't think I even did that. I think I just posted some, they're on the screen while I'm reading. Let's see. The impetus for this motion, which was not granted, it was withdrawn. There is no temporary restraining order in place, by the way. Miles Comer says, if I super chat, will I get mentioned in a lawsuit? Maybe. That's the way these things are going, right? Was based on Mr. Herrera posting my private information on his Twitter page. It's not private, pal. It's in the public court. There's a long-standing doctrine that public court documents are not private information. You know this because you're an attorney. Unless it's sealed, which it's not. and sending tweets out about it. This was brought to the attention of Mr. Herrera's counsel, and after I showed Mr. Herrera's counsel the offending tweet, he agreed to take it down and to stop posting about me or my law firm. There you have it, guys. That is what happened, apparently, with that whole thing. We had speculated on what happened, but Landau has discussed it. I'm sure there are no other details about that. I'm sure there's nothing else to know other than, he showed it to Mr. Herrera's counsel, and then Mr. Herrera agreed to take it down and to stop posting about me or my law firm. No other details there. A notice withdrawing the TRO was filed that same day, and I had thought the matter was resolved. It was. You resolved it. You withdrew your TRO request. Everybody was happy. However, it is apparent that the documents that Mr. Herrera ordered and tweeted about relative to my private life were provided to Mr. Rekieta, which appears to have served as the impetus for his video. They were provided to me, but I will not disclose the source of them. At all. Ever. There's no reason for you to know. But you're wrong. The fault in creating these videos and posting such unconscionable and despicable content about me in this pending lawsuit and trying to negatively influence this lawsuit in his capacity as an attorney. What do you mean by that? Like, my capacity as an attorney is far different than my capacity as a YouTuber. Is not Mr. Herrera's fault. Mr. Rekieta is an... Okay. So if you're not claiming third-party liability, what's your argument? Mr. Rekieta, as an attorney, is bound by his ethical duties and obligations, which I have followed, and must exercise his own independent professional judgment, which he has clearly failed to do on a number of occasions. His actions in this matter represent a threat, nope, and danger, nope, to the public interest, and interfere with the administration of justice. Literally impossible. Further, if Mr. Rekieta is getting paid by Mr. Herrera, as I have stated over and over and over, Mr. Herrera does not pay me to create anything or represent him or do anything. For my devil, Landau is a cuck. This is fact meant to defame him. Okay, that's your words. And again, Landau, pay attention to how super chats work. To create this vitriolic and defamatory content against me and the plaintiffs in the above entitled case in an attempt to negatively influence their case and to squeeze me into withdrawing from it and to give it the air of legitimacy as coming from a licensed attorney. Well, this is a big if statement and none of it's true. That Mr. Rekieta has violated several rules of professional conduct and clearly does not possess character and fitness to practice law, as he is completely unaware of his ethical obligations to me, third parties, the public, Mr. Herrera, and the bar in general. See matter of Mueller. Hold on real quick. We've got Nicholas Melchiori says, Landau is most likely referring to the fact that Dick is a Patreon contributor to your podcast. Well, I appreciate that. But Dick has the same level of influence over my content that anybody else does. Whereas Patreon people get an edge in suggesting what I talk about. But he does not dictate the content. He does not pay me in a professional capacity as an attorney or anything like that. Keck7Go says, in the UK, a judge calls for kitchen knives to be blunted amid crime wave. In other news, Landau is an alcoholic. Okay, so here's his citation. The charges are not based on a single episode of rudeness or vulgarity directed toward a colleague. The gravity and duration of respondent's conduct and the lengths to which he went to interfere with his victim's professional and personal life, I have done zero to interfere with your professional and personal life, by the way, are such that a 6-month suspension from the practice of law is warranted. All right, B, solicitation for professional employment and unauthorized practice of law. Here we go. It is also important for the Grievance Committee to be aware that in these videos and social media pages, Mr. Rekieta solicits clients for professional employment and accepts money to answer legal questions. The first part is true. If you're in Minnesota and you get in trouble with the law or you have a legal issue, please contact me at Rekieta Law. You can find any number of ways to contact me there. It is perfectly legal for me to solicit passively in the state of Minnesota and in the United States in general. There are billboards everywhere, you dork. I'm sure you do some sort of solicitation as well. Give a dog a gavel, says Felix1942. Lucifer Love Monkey says, shout out to Wang, love the channel. Yeah, it is perfectly legal for me to solicit employment. You, and accepts money to answer legal questions. No. I don't accept money to answer legal questions. I accept money to give my opinion on things. If people need legal assistance, my answer is always consult an attorney in your jurisdiction. And I'm happy to help you find one if you can't. Dustin from the Dick Show says, rip in peace, Clay and Tess. New mods, send resumes to Nick, please. Is anyone hiring? Can you hire Asterios or something? I feel bad for that guy. Weber Sandwich sucks. Those cowards. Patreon.com/Asterios. The Ill-Wilted says, do you think that perhaps Landau is sending this to you to bait TDS fans into harassing him, which could further build a case against TDS if either he or someone in Landau group re-sue in LA? I mean, maybe. We'll see. Okay, and then let's see. Which usually concern the pleadings filed in the above entitled case. Okay, Landau. How am I answering legal questions for people who are not named in the case, that have no interest in the case? I can't give them legal advice because they're not involved in it. If they're asking me a question about how law is interpreted, yeah, I'll take money and answer those questions all day. I'll give my opinion on how it is. I've been very clear that New York is not my practice jurisdiction and I cannot give legal advice, so they should always consult an attorney. I've been pretty clear on all of this stuff. But, well, let's move on. And which have nothing to do with Minnesota or federal law and largely concern New York law. Yes, I'm giving you my opinion. And by the way, if you go watch the videos, you'll see all the times where I'm like, I have no idea what New York civil procedure is. This is how I read this. This is what the court says about this, as far as I can tell. Javier Miedo says, Minnesota alcoholic can drive. New York alcoholic can't drive. P.S. Do you think you drink more alcohol or Landau drinks more? I don't know how much he drinks. I can tell you guys, I drink pretty much on stream, and that's about it. Very rarely do I drink outside of this context. Let's see. This constitutes a violation of Rule 5.5b2 and 7.3a. No, a lawyer shall not hold out to the public or otherwise represent that the lawyer is admitted to practice law in this jurisdiction. I obviously have not held out to the public that I'm admitted to practice law in any other jurisdiction than Minnesota. Ever. Let's see. Gatscat says Landau doesn't solicit. He hears sirens, blows into his bike lock, and chases them down. Okay, let's see Rule 7.3a. A lawyer shall not by in-person or live telephone contact solicit professional employment from anyone when a significant motive for the lawyer's doing so is the lawyer's pecuniary gain. You don't understand how to read the rules of professional conduct. This is when someone I know needs legal representation. I cannot call them or go sit next to their hospital bed and solicit my services. It doesn't mean I can't broadcast to the world that I'm a lawyer in Minnesota, that I would like, I would be happy if you hired me. The ambulance chaser moniker is defeated by this rule of professional conduct, because you can't actually follow an ambulance to a hospital and try and solicit to someone or call someone after they took an ambulance ride. Or if I read in the paper that someone was charged with a crime, I can't call them up or go to their house. You can send them letters. Lawyers do this all the time. I don't. All of my business is word of mouth. So stop accusing me of things I don't do. Matt Cook, here's $2 so you can buy an actual glass for your apple juice. Thanks, buddy. All right. This is rich, guys. Reek. Landau doesn't drink. Instead, he has a drip bag full of Mad Dog 2020 going straight into his aorta. Ooh. This is rich. Kev the lawyer, I know you're out there. This is your fault. Fake pleadings. Rights of third parties. Communications with represented parties. Unauthorized practice of law. Upon information and belief. I don't know what information you have, and your belief is mistaken. Mr. Rekieta has created fake pleadings in the above entitled case under my name. No, I have not. You liar. You liar. And sent them to all counsel of record in this case under a fake email address. Attached hereto as Exhibit E are these fake pleadings with the corresponding email sent to counsel. No. No, no, no. Lies. Stop lying. These pleadings are disgusting and designed to harass, defame, and demean and defame me, myself, and my clients. Said pleadings are very similar to other pleadings that were created by Mr. Rekieta for Mr. Herrera's podcast, which Mr. Herrera posted to his Patreon webpage, and which reflect a complaint filed by Mr. Rekieta in Illinois. The foregoing conduct violates them. No, that I didn't file a complaint in Illinois. It was a joke about representing what, like Larry or something? Is that what you're talking about? Oh my gosh. Okay. Then he cites some cases which are, of course, wrong. Conclusion, relief requested. I have never experienced anything like this. No, probably not. And none of us have either, pal. And it is especially troubling that the conduct is from another member of the bar whom I have never met before. Should be whom, pal. Have no relationship with and who has nothing to do with me whatsoever, yet has the audacity to demean and defame. I did not defame you. With posts and videos designed to harass and humiliate myself and my clients? Nope. In a public forum. Would you rather me send them to you in private? That would be harassment. If I sent them to you in private, it would be harassment. In attempts to negatively influence their lawsuit. Nope. It is unconscionable that a licensed attorney would so blithely engage in professional misconduct without any fear of reprisal or discipline. However, Mr. Rekieta must be stopped. He must be stopped. His actions represent a clear threat to the public interest, the administration of justice, and he must be punished for his transgressions. FSPAMSS says, almost forgot my contractual obligation to send a super chat so you can claim this statement wasn't your idea. Landau is factually stupid and has an A+ blood. Please remind Mr. Herrera to pay my invoice. Javier Miedo says, Landau becoming the next Clinton, disbarred liar. Man, this is like, if it weren't so ridiculous, this guy has lied about me blatantly over and over and over again. Okay. So accordingly, complainant respectfully requests this office to investigate Mr. Rekieta's conduct, order him publicly reprimanded and suspended from practice of law for a minimum of 60 days, order him to publicly apologize to me and the plaintiffs in the above entitled case. No. I've said the apology that I'm going to say. It's earlier in the stream. That's the only apology you'll ever get. Reek says Kevin Landau putting the bar and bar exam. Bar mitzvah works too. Order him to take the content he has created against me and the plaintiffs down immediately. No. Pay to me and this office the costs and expenses incurred, including reasonable attorney's fees as a result of his conduct against me. No. And for others, such other and further relief that the office seems just and appropriate. I'm pretty sure the Office of Professional Responsibility can't do like anything beyond A. That's about it. I mean, maybe they can do this much after the investigation. But yeah, no thank you. Smoky Horse says, Super Chat drink. Swift is right. It's okay to be white. Okay. Jacob Ceresia says, Nick, can you demand a trial by combat to resolve this assault on your honor? Japanese whiskey's on the way at Maddox Lost. Thanks, buddy. I'll be looking for the whiskey. Respectfully submitted by the Landau group. Oh, and hashtag Maddox Lost. I almost forgot. Sorry. Exhibits. This is where it's going to go fast because most of this stuff is like, okay, here's a bunch of videos. Here's me with laughing, grimacing, looking weird, looking down, laughing, looking intently. I don't know what he expects. Like, I guess maybe it's the comments on the screen. Miles Comer says, reminder to fans, don't contact Landau. Yeah, that's a good reminder. Good reminder. No, you should not contact Landau. Ever. So I'm guessing he's like whining about the pictures. The PDF that I have up, maybe. Miles Cummer says Maddox lost. He actually has serial killer photos. Guys, these are just screenshots from my videos. I don't know what he's trying to say. Maybe he's posting the private information from the public documents. Derek Gully says, hot take, Asterios actually deserved to get sued, and if Maddox had hired a half-competent lawyer, he would be completely effed. Ooh, that is a hot take. That is a hot take. I don't know that that's actually true. And he doxed my wife. Rude. Here's another video in which that looks like I've had too much to drink. Let's see what we've got. This is all just... Now, notice that he is not a YouTube Red subscriber. If you'll... He's got the ad there. So there's a super chat. Man, I can't read any of this. This is all pointless. Let's be clear. This is all pointless. And I'm skimming through this. I'm looking to see. I haven't actually gone through all these exhibits, so I don't know what's on them. So bear with me as we go through that. Look at this tweet making fun of Mark Zuckerberg. Good job, me. Why are you showing these tweets? They're about the trademark case that you're not involved in, and they're not commenting about you. Derek Gully says, read the bookmark bar in the screenshots. Let's see what it says. Hold on. I gotta get my side scroll. That'll be interesting. Imported from Safari, Google, Obamacare's secret something, Twitter Help Center. Is that a Google search for the meaning of libel? Zachary Sire, drug and device law, and one man's experience. All right, guys. That's what that says. I mean, I don't know. Who knows what we're going to figure out from that? Probably nothing. I don't know if that's the meaning of libel. It does say the meaning of lib. So it might be liberal, liberalists, liberty, libel. You know, one man's experience. This one's like blocked out. Here we go. Are we going to get this PDF? I don't know. I don't know if there's a reason to release this PDF. So here's just a bunch of tweets. Most of them have nothing to do with Landau. Look at this. This is me making fun of David Hogg. There's my message to Notch, which he didn't respond to. Thinks he's better than everybody. Oh, here we go. Here's a live stream about Weber response to motion to dismiss. Foreshadows a slapdown. Still waiting for that slapdown. Felix1942 says Kev seems like a liberalist, right? Right? I don't know if he fits the bill. Okay, these are a bunch of tweets. Like, I don't understand what his point is. Like, maybe he thought they'd just get bored looking at all of them. All right, here's my Patreon page. And remember, the express purpose of my videos, the express purpose is to defame him. Not any of this stuff that I said. Not any of this other stuff. Where it talks about all the other cases that I cover and all that stuff. There's the Patreon rewards. All that good stuff. Trademark live stream. So here's just the Patreon posts. I'm a little mad because I don't think he's a patron. Let me see. Sorry, I'm trying to see if... No, it says get the reward. Yeah, he's not even logged in. Notch is such a poser. True gentleman murder. two of their roommates, their friend, and attempts to break into a sorority house to enact retribution. Okay. I don't know that story. That's fine. So this is all, you can see all that on patreon.com/lawsplaining, which is right up there. You literally say anything you say is not legal advice in his own exhibit. Yeah. That's, you know. Good night, Tess. Dog bite Landau to bike to New York. So this is someone else's. Look at the. This is someone else's tweet. It's someone else's tweet, Kevin. Stand with Dick. Gonna be pretty hard for Dog bite Landau to bike to New York City, what with no license and all. He tweeted that. Dick replied, I'm not even mentioned. All right. So here's some. I wanted to make you aware of the below email which we received last night. It appears to be a rather elaborate spoof brief. Okay. Subject. Opposition to motion to dismiss apostrophe. Dear esteemed colleagues apostrophe. Didn't have much to do this Sunday, so I decided to cumulatively tackle your, frankly, quite ridiculous apostrophe, motions apostrophe, to dismiss apostrophe. Attached is my memorandum of law in support of opposition to defendants apostrophe motion to dismiss apostrophe period. Third apostrophe. This is how I file, right? This was so easy, I didn't even need Westlaw. Enjoy the fallback. You have awoken the beast. Respectfully, Kevin B. Landau, the Dog Bite Group. The Dog Bite Group at yahoo.com. Attorneys for plaintiffs George Zunian and Jane Doe. Kev at thedogbitegroup.com. Guys, I didn't do this. This is funny, and I didn't do this, even though it's being attempted to be used against me here. I think this was Kev the lawyer who did this. Maybe not. Maybe not. Full disclosure, this was sent to me along with the actual the fake brief, the fake motion. I didn't cover it because it didn't fit into what I do. I thought it was hilarious, and I would have loved to cover it, but I cover lawsuits and legal topics, and this wasn't in there in that realm until now. Now it's in the evidence, right? But I didn't want to cover a joke complaint because it wasn't really my realm, even though I found it really funny. And the guy who wrote it is very funny. I think he posted it on Reddit, or someone posted it on Reddit. I don't know who ended up posting it. And there's some commentary on it. It just wasn't right for my channel. And I, again, thought it was hilarious. Would have loved to find a way to cover it, but it just didn't work out, especially at the time that it was written. So, here we go. What else does it say? So here's the memorandum. We're going to cover it real quick. Memorandum of law in support of opposition to defendant's motion to dismiss. Supreme Court of the State of New York, County of New York. George Zunian, professionally known as Maddox, and Mental Jane Doe. Plaintiffs against Dax Herrera, Dick Masterson, Foundation Makeup LLC, Greg Poser, Lauren Not If It's Gay Baker, CMGRP Inc., doing business as Weber Shamdick, Joshua Kaiser, Asterios Coke in Nose, Trevor Slavin Burp, Patreon Inc., and Jordan I Can't Cope. Guys. Oh, wow. Signed Kevin Bite Me Landau. Table of contents. Venue is proper. Service is proper. Form is convenient. Plaintiffs did 2 state claims. Plaintiffs do not need nor desire leave to amend. Plaintiffs welcome the challenge of moving this action to commercial court. Plaintiffs demand trial by liberal jury. Conclusion. Gatscat says, yo, Rackets, check your Reddit messages real quick. Oh, man. Let's see. Reddit messages. Hold on. No, I'm okay with that, Gets. Thank you for your concern. Thank you for your concern. Those are unrelated to this issue. Clay's roommate, I won't know that until later. I'm not going to read it online. But thank you for your concern. But no, I have no concern about that video. Okay, his table of authorities are New York versus Stretch Armstrong, New York versus Mars Bars, New York versus Vegan Dog Food, Batman Returns, and Damore versus Google. Oh my goodness. All right. This memorandum of law, memo, along with the numerous inline exhibits incorporated herein, is submitted in support of plaintiff's response to defendant's specious motions to dismiss this action due to dwindling financial resources from plaintiffs and counsel having refused to undertake further pro bono service for the benefit of plaintiffs after an initial misunderstanding. This single memo is to be considered as a cumulative and definitive response to all of defendant's motions submitted to date. Venue is proper. Defendants have aimlessly argued at length that New York holds no jurisdiction over them and that venue is not proper. That makes no sense. Pursuant to CPLR section 1337, the New York statute has been established to have long and stretchable arms that can liberally reach across the country and target defendants at will. New York versus Stretch Armstrong, 1978. Case law is clear and has already stood the test of interplanetary court. New York versus Mars Bars in the solar system, as well as other nearby planetary systems. New York versus Vegan Dog Food. Any lengthy argument to the contrary is nothing but a transparent, wanton, and vindictive attempt by opposing counsel to mislead the court. Clay's roommate says, let's make this a night to remember. I agree. Herrera, in particular, in his last visit to New York in 2011, conducted numerous wanton business transactions that clearly establish him as a subject of the stretch arms statute. Exhibit A, affidavit of Heather S. Apostrophe. New York resident Heather S. hereby swears under penalty of perjury. My name is Heather. I'm an anonymous author, journalist, and activist employed by Condiment with a business address of 4 Times Square, New on or about March 2011. Shortly after returning to the U.S. from an assignment in the old continent, I had a chance encounter with defendant Herrera in the city of New York. Offended by his hypermasculine gait, I may or may not have followed Herrera with a view toward expressing his latent sexism in an upcoming article. Felix1942 says, I'm glad he sent this in. These memes are gold. Can use this stream as evidence for your ethics complaint. We'll talk about it. I witnessed Herrera enter a restaurant after skillfully infiltrating said restaurant through the bathroom window. I witnessed him purchase, amidst troubling spells of flirting with a putatively female-gendered waitress, a $49 steak, thus clearly conducting business in New York. Derek Gooley says Tabasco's the best. Chula and Tapatio suck dong. I agree, buddy. Tabasco wins. I briefly considered topping my heist by stealing one urinal cake, but eventually decided against it and stealthily egressed through the window. In an act of selfless magnanimity. Goodness gracious. I subsequently emailed the restaurant from my official account, hkps1812@gmail.com, warning restaurant personnel about their lackluster security measures. To this day, I was never thanked by the restaurant's management for said generosity, nor warned by them for their inadequate security measures. Exhibit A, Heather Aff number 1, is damning proof that Herrera lied under oath in his own affidavit. Opposing counsel may rest assured that further impeachment evidence will be forthcoming at trial on no warning whatsoever to counter any and all claims made by defendants that seek to damage plaintiff Azunian, Maddox Heather, or plaintiff Jane Doe, Mental Jess, Jessica B, or Jessica Irene Blum. And guys, this was drafted well before their admission. That's just in their personal or professional reputations. On an unrelated note, plaintiffs request A, that an opaque screen along with soundboarding equipment be erected near the witness's stand. That B, all personnel briefly leave the courtroom previous to an impeachment witness entering the courtroom to avoid identification. And C, ask defense counsel to be understanding and accommodating regarding the timing of plaintiff's bathroom breaks. Pursuant to CPLR 1337, defendants Foundation, Makeup, Poser, Baker, and Burp are also subject to the stretch arm statute by osmosis from defendant Herrera, regardless of how properly they may have been served. Defendant Patreon unskillfully argues that a click-through agreement established California as the proper venue. That's a big foul. Testimony will be brought to support the notion that Azunian only agreed to the terms begrudgingly and that his middle and index fingers were crossed in a courageous act of civil disobedience as the contract was agreed to. Services proper. Plaintiffs repeat, replete, and incorporate by reference all paragraphs above. That includes Plaintiff Azunian and Jane Doe's request that Mr. Skibble follow up on their personal inquiry. Gatscat says, is it possible he has Alzheimer's? These exhibits, I think it'd be dementia, right? But we don't want to release his private medical information. Service to defendants, foundation, makeup, Baker, and burp was proper under CPLR Batman, which unarguably sets forth that any person or persons who appear dressed in uniform at the time of service, including but not limited to a United States Postal Service uniform, is in turn able to and in fact assumes a binding moral and legal duty to timely deliver justice, which must include legal summons to anybody in the United States. Sleep, yes, this is included in the evidence against me to the ethics board, even though I did not draft it. I did not talk about it on my stream because, it doesn't really, again, it didn't fit into the channel until now. It is common knowledge that the intended recipient need only shine a Batman floodlight toward the heavens to be awarded said justice. All defendants in this action being giant nerds, they were surely aware of this protocol and cannot claim ignorance of New York law in this matter. Moreover, since the appropriate period of 12 hours since filing of proof of service has already elapsed, defendants Burt and Baker have effectively defaulted, and the court must award the sum of $20 million to plaintiffs, along with the modest and entirely constitutional demand that these defendants be enjoined from speaking about plaintiffs in any manner or on any platform in perpetuity. Batman Returns, 1992. I think, Crisis, I think this is in the Reddit. Forum is convenient. Plaintiffs repeat, replead, and incorporate by reference all paragraphs above. Footnote 4. Jane Doe wishes Mr. Skibble knows to know she believes he has beautiful eyes. Defendants living in California have astonishingly attempted to argue before this court that the doctrine of forum nonconveniens should apply. Plaintiffs hereby submit that this is an affront to the decency and hospitality of the New York Supreme Court. Counsel for plaintiffs hereby wishes to assert in no ambiguous manner that although the benches in New York courtrooms are not the most comfortable for the seats counsel has ever sat on, they're 5. That title belongs in counsel's humble opinion to the deluxe heated vibro chair, black leather edition, assuming it is properly reclined at an angle of approximately 34 degrees from vertical and with a vibration setting on a level 2. According to marketing materials, a good reclination angle enhances the vibrance conductivity for a truly relaxing experience. Whether or not the circular massaging option is an overall benefit, however, is up for debate. The court and opposing counsel should feel free to ask for further details in chambers. Okay. They are nonetheless reasonably comfortable and are sometimes even equipped with convenient cushions. Plaintiff's counsel can also personally vouch that such cushions appear to be highly ergonomic for both counsel and canine units sat at the defense table. Even assuming arguendo that the benches were not equipped with mammal ergonomic cushions or that the seating were indeed truly uncomfortable, this would be hardly be cause for dismissal for lack of convenient seating. Defendant Herrera's biting remarks have inconvenienced plaintiff for years, but now he seeks to dismiss this action because of a small inconvenience. How's that for irony? Plaintiffs did 2 state claims, and he repleads everything with another footnote. 6. Jane Doe wishes to extend to Mr. Skibble an invite to join her for dinner next Tuesday at 8 p.m. when Plaintiff Azunian will be busy playing video games. Oh. Defendant's counsel appears to want to razzle, dazzle, and unduly prejudice the court. Give them the old razzle, dazzle. Razzle, dazzle them. And unduly prejudice the court by citing an overwhelming amount of confusing case law, hiding the truth below a mountain of self-righteous legalese. This aggression will not stand. Counsel seems to generally believe that A, facts alleged were not material, that B, plaintiffs failed to state claims, that C, plaintiffs' counsel does not use apostrophes correctly, and in doing so, counsel repeatedly embarrasses and perjures itself, and that D, allegations are bald, whereas only plaintiff Azunian is. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yep, this was all included. As an initial way of response, plaintiffs here submit to the court that opposing counsel is spending far too much time on books and should follow the example of plaintiff's counsel, go outside and do something physical once in a while, walk your dog, kick a ball, perhaps chase an ambulance. In any case, causes of action are hereby addressed individually. Counsel's 6 are read for emphasis. Oh. Who wrote this? Not me. Not me, but I'm pretty sure it was Kev the lawyer. He'll have to confirm that. You could check him out on Twitter, of course, Kev the lawyer. I don't remember his Twitter handle, but I think it's at Kev the lawyer. The memorandum in support of Herrera's, Bozer's, and Makeup's motion to dismiss states, here plaintiffs... question mark. Sorry. Claim must fail because none of the motion defendants sick utilized either of the plaintiff's name, likeness, portrait, or picture within the meaning of those statutes, as any alleged use was not for the purposes of advertising or trade to be used for advertising purposes. The use must appear in or as part of an advertisement or solicitation for patronage. Internal apostrophes not omitted. Antoid says, will Nick beat his Bard? Will Kevin win his respect? Will Asterios break his 1 hour McNuggies record? Find out on lawsplaining number 69. Kevin defeated. In this short excerpt alone, defendants' use of possessives and apostrophes in general is highly distracting and confusing. Counsel worryingly uses no apostrophes where at least 2 are warranted, admitting to ignorance of compound possessives, and then uses, again, no apostrophes in no less than 5 instances where at least 1 is warranted. Clay's roommate, tune in next week to find out. No, at the end of this stream, I will tell you what is on the horizon with this. The argument is therefore void for minutia and insufficient orthographica. Barry Blutnick says Lex did it. All right. I don't know what that means. If you get sued, will I defend you for next to nothing? Tuna thing. What's tuna thing? Maybe. Depends on what you're sued for. The Herrera memo further quotes Brooks versus Anderson. Slander per se is any oral statement which relate to any of the following statements that impute that a woman is unchaste. Plaintiff Azunian wishes to, first of all, affirm that he is indeed unchaste and wishes to make absolutely clear that he is not filing charges against defendants for statements relating to his unchaste status. In fact, Plaintiff Azunian would warmly welcome such a topic of discussion. Other welcome topics of discussion would include his status as a New York Times bestselling author, his well-justified and internally consistent hatred of libertarian policy, as well as any discussion of the duplicitous nature of any or all of defendants' permissible topics. This consideration aside, defendants' arguments utterly failed to emotionally move plaintiff's counsel. In fact, counsel felt both stoic and mildly confused as he read through the numerous case law citations while struggling to remember his Westlaw password. Plaintiffs therefore claim ignorance and appeal to the court's emotions. So this cause of action may survive defendants' heartless, uncharitable, and downright mean motion to dismiss. Let the courts be reminded that emotions are more powerful than well-crafted legal arguments. Let the court remember that he or she is in fact a human first and a justice second. Let the court take a bold and courageous stand for plaintiffs and their hurt feelings. Let the court rule in favor of plaintiffs on this matter. Misappropriation. Misappropriation is use of name, photograph, or image likeness for commercial purposes. It appears that defendants with their limited reading comprehension skills have grossly misunderstood the allegations contained in the original complaint. As conveniently set forth in the affidavit below, Plaintiff Azunian is a plural being who identifies as multiple people, animals, objects, including the very same ticket for Herrera's Road Rage live show that was pictured in the complaint and sold for $20. Clearly, plaintiff suffered a grave tort as he not only was ripped from his original stub, but was also then trafficked for a mere $20 fee, discounting his value by at least a factor of 2. It is only through plaintiff's magnanimity, I can't say that word to save my life, and philanthropic largesse, the defendants are being sued for the relatively minor charge of misappropriating rather than the more appropriate criminal charge of human trafficking and reverse ticket scalping. Exhibit B, Affidavit of George Azunian, number 1. Azunian hereby swears under penalty of perjury that I am a New York Times bestselling author, lined out journalist and activist employed by Condiment with a business address of 4 Times Square, New. I'm a plural being. I spiritually and sexually identify as, among other things, the live show ticket documented in the complaints for this action. I know it's magnanimity. I just can't say it. While experiencing reality as said ticket, I have suffered severe damages. I have been ripped from my stub and was sold to a stranger for a mere $20. The monthly income from my latest book alone, F** Wales, is nearly $20. Okay. Intentional infliction of emotional distress. Once again, defendants obstinately insist in their various motions on listing all the rules that must be followed for an adequate pleading of this cause of action. Such reliance on rules is unduly restrictive, prejudicial, and wholly inhumane. Plaintiffs hereby submit the notion that in a court of law, a jury of Azunian's peers, friends, and associates would surely find defendants guilty of this tort. Plaintiffs hereby challenge defendants to prove them wrong, lest they be known forever as cowards. Is this legal brief better than the stuff you produce? Yeah, this is way funnier than the stuff I write. Tortious interference with contract and business relations. Defendants' paltry, petty, pernicious, and pitiful arguments. Oh, he's going with the V for vendetta, except with P's. Once again, offend due process and skirt the bounds of human decency. As fully set forth in the complaint, the wanton and vindictive conduct from plaintiff's followers has directly caused a sponsorship contract from Harry's to end, lined out, be breached. Harry's agreed to the highly typical industry standard sponsorship rate of $45 per 1,000 impressions on Azunian's podcasts. Plaintiffs hereby wish to reiterate that damages are estimated to be approximately $7,200 per month, regardless of the fact that Harry's, which incidentally is a New York-based company, appears as a sponsor in only 2 of about 30 of plaintiffs' weekly podcasts prior to the start of the wanton and vindictive harassment campaign of the defendants. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice. Well, maybe it's just here. And he has a different font for F. He skips G entirely. Conversion. Counsel invokes the first of his 3 bonus rounds for this memo, and any argument put forth by opposing counsel related to this cause of action must be deemed void ab initio. Oh, man. Deceptive trade practices. Counsel invokes his second bonus round for this memo. Any argument put forth by opposing counsel related to this cause of action must be deemed void ab initio. Negligent failure to warn. The memo from defendants Patreon and Cope. Patreon memo quotes, "It is well settled that there is no necessity to warn a customer already aware through common knowledge of learning of a specific hazard." Defendants' responses with regard to this cause of action were so outrageous, outsized, and ostrich-like that plaintiff's counsel, upon reading them, nearly fell off his chair. Footnote. Luckily, the deluxe heated vibro chair, black leather edition, features an immensely useful catch me if you can functionality. Both the court and opposing counsel may feel free to discuss the functionality further, either in chambers, using the email listed at the top of this document, or by phone, both during and outside business hours. Comments from opposing counsel are astonishingly short-sighted. The case law cited above was taken wildly out of context, as it clearly does not apply to plural beings such as Plaintiff Azunian. As conveniently set forth below, when Plaintiff Azunian merges his spiritual being with that of another being or object, he, she, it leaves his, her, its previous form for an unspecified and often unpredictable lapse of time. As conveniently set forth below, in such instances, the physical body of Plaintiff Azunian becomes akin to an empty husk with little awareness of his own surroundings. Such a husk is incapable of any meaningful agency and or asserting itself in societal intercourse, and would, for instance, need to be forewarned that unknown people are directing vitriol his way on the internet, or that other men are currently having physical relations with his girlfriend in his own bedroom before he even had a chance to react. it cannot be assumed that just because Ozunian's mothership physical body warned Patreon of the vitriol directed his way, that this means he, she, it being properly warned, or is being properly warned, as this ostensibly neglects Ozunian's husk time. Exhibit C. William Loken. So, brief summary, because I know this is a long stream and some people are joining late. Kevin Landau filed an ethics complaint against me. What we're reading right now is a fake complaint authored by someone else, or a fake memo, I should say, authored by someone else, and incorrectly attributed to me by Kevin Landau as evidence against me in his ethics complaint. So hopefully that clears that up. Ozunian hereby swears under penalty of perjury. New York Times bestselling author, plural being, during times when I'm not inside my mothership physical vessel, my husk becomes empty and barely aware of its surroundings. I refer to this state as husk time, though my girlfriend often refers to it as closet time. I transcend space and time. As such, concepts such as cause and effect are meaningless to me. I find it reasonable that companies have no relationship whatsoever with me, have a duty to warn me in advance of the online abuse I am about to endure from unrelated third parties. Clay's roommate says, Rekieta Law, are you at all concerned with this letter? Should anyone be concerned with an ethics complaint? Yes. Of course I'm concerned with it. I'm concerned that this guy decided to send several blatant lies and misrepresentations about me to the Ethics Board of Minnesota. Everyone should always take ethics matters seriously, and that will be the final discussion at the end of all of the evidence, which we're getting close to the end here. But the very end of this video will discuss what's coming with that. So, fraud. Defense counsel for can't go down too low here. Defense counsel for Patreon once more blessed the court with his wisdom and expertise in the law, and reflexively cited in a bout of pathological hubris the rule of law concerning fraud in New York. Defense counsel put forth, no doubt, an ironclad case that Patreon did not meet the legal standard for fraud, or so defense counsel thought. In a long overdue attempt to bring this little Icarus back to terra firma, plaintiff's counsel hereby wishes to preview his devastating arguments in favor of overcoming the motion to dismiss concerning the claims of fraud alleged in the complaint. Your apostrophes are throwing me off, man. Felix1942 says, is Landau an official lolcow after this complaint? I mean, I don't have the power to make anybody an official anything, but this is ridiculous. Here's the quote. Ladies and gentlemen of this supposed jury, I have one thing I want you to consider. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chewbacca. Chewbacca is a Wookiee from the planet Kashyyyk, but Chewbacca lives on the planet Endor. Now think about it. That does not make sense. Why would a Wookiee, an 8-foot-tall Wookiee, want to live on Endor with a bunch of 2-foot-tall Ewoks? That does not make sense. But more important, you have to ask yourself, what does this have to do with this case? Nothing, ladies and gentlemen. It has nothing to do with this case. It does not make sense. And here is Exhibit D, Chewbacca Accusato illustrated. Literally the Chewbacca defense. Look at me. I'm a lawyer representing a former internet personality, and I'm talking about Chewbacca. Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? I am not making any sense. None of this makes sense. And so you have to remember, when you're in the jury room deliberating and conjugating the Emancipation Proclamation, does it make sense? No. Ladies and gentlemen of this supposed jury, it does not make sense. If Chewbacca lives on Endor, then Patreon committed fraud. The prosecution rests. Ergo, the claim of fraud easily survives scrutiny as per Chewbacca Accusato. Promissory estoppel. Counsel invokes his third and final bonus round for this memo. Any argument put forth by opposing counsel relating to this cause of action must be deemed void ab initio. Negligence and negligent hiring, retention, supervision. In trying to weasel out of the damning accusations against Dweeber Shamdick, defense counsel Mr. Munoz fruitlessly tries to grasp at the metaphorical grammatical straw, and in so doing only proceeds to embarrass himself. Munoz's motion reads as follows. The complaint cites a series of internet posts that were made between November 6th and 8th, 2016, and a podcast dated January 17, 2017, in support of its allegations that defendant Sick and their followers used Jane Doe's Sick picture and alleged that she had sexually transmitted diseases. Yeah, my life is basically Harvey Birdman. Yeah. Similarly to what was set forth above, this is grounds for the motion to be dismissed due to the minutia and overabundantia siccitus. However, the court should be made aware that there is something much more nefarious going on with the clearly antagonistic overall tone of Munoz's memorandum. Your Honor, I am offended by Mr. Munoz's remarks as a woman and as a mother. Mr. Munoz may not know what it's like to work a 70-hour work week and also take care of a family, but I do, and many other people do too. To belittle my child care issues in your courtroom is unconscionable and totally out of line. A leather glove of a different size, a different color, a different make, a different style has no relevance to this case. It is obviously smaller, looks like my size, and I think even counsel conceded that is a different size. Under 352, there is no valid probative purpose to this. I'm sure that what Mr. Munoz again intends to do is to make another inflammatory argument with no evidentiary basis whatsoever in an attempt to confuse, mislead, and deceive this jury. This has no part in any search for the truth. This is a fantasy woven by the defense for which there is no evidentiary basis, no logical or factual connection to this case. The glove that was recovered at Bundy was size extra large. This is size small. I can't even tell if it's a man's or woman's glove. Small size. I guess it is Mr. Munoz. Plaintiffs do not need nor desire leave to amend. Plaintiffs repeat, replead, and incorporate by reference all paragraphs above. Jane Doe wishes to reassure Mr. Skibble that she can induce a husk-like state on Mr. Bazunian on command. Much like a clutch of freshly decapitated chickens, multiple defendants have frantically, aimlessly, and short-sightedly rushed to argue that the court not to grant plaintiffs to leave to amend the original complaint. Plaintiffs wish defendants to know that plaintiffs do not need or even desire leave to amend, as the complaint is already devastatingly damning, and any modification would only weaken the original document. Plaintiffs had hoped for once that opposing counsel be above such cheap, patronizing tactics, but once again was disappointed. Such tactics are as unethical as they are ineffective and are nothing but a clear sign of defendants' mounting desperation. Plaintiffs welcome the challenge of moving this action to commercial court. Plaintiffs repeat, replead, and incorporate by reference all paragraphs above. Ms. Jane Doe hereby wishes to extend her advances to all counsel on the defense. Oh my goodness. Despite plaintiffs' counsel not being familiar with procedures of the commercial divisions, courts in New York, counsel declares himself ready to pick up the gauntlet that was so arrogantly thrown by defendants. If the slovenly and ungrammatical motions submitted by defendants so far have any indication of things to come, then plaintiffs truly have nothing to fear. Plaintiffs demand trial by liberal jury. Plaintiffs repeat, replead, and incorporate by reference all paragraphs above. Jane Doe can be reached by phone at 232-867-5309 and is eagerly awaiting a response. Oh, man. Since plaintiffs are sure to overcome the motion to dismiss countered herein, plaintiffs wish to remind the court that Plaintiff Azunian has a constitutional right to be judged by a jury of his peers. As set forth above, Azunian's peers are plural beings. Appropriate candidates shall include selected Google employees, see DeVore versus Google 2018, as well as member of the women's comedy group performing at the Los Angeles UCB Theater. The court may need to stretch the stretch arm statute for jury selection in order to maintain Azunian's right to a fair trial. Conclusion: for the foregoing reasons, the court should deny defendants' frivolous motions to dismiss this action, award plaintiffs' counsel with at least 4 bone-shaped chew toys as compensation for having to respond to a long series of such frivolous motions. The court should also enjoin defense counsel from violently underusing apostrophes in legal documents and grant any such other relief as the court deems proper. Dated January 28th, 2018, New York, New York. The Dog Bite Group. Kev Bite Me Landau. All right. So there's that. There's that. Oh no. This is the joke summons. And what? Did I write a complaint for this? Yeah, summons and complaint I wrote on behalf of Asterios Kokonos against Dick Masterson, Diego Diaz, Jordan Cope, Rahm Emanuel in his capacity as mayor of Chicago, John Doe, the Uber driver, Uber Technologies, Inc., Dara Kasarasahashi, I don't know how to say that. That's the CEO of Uber, and Donald Trump. Okay. This was mine. This is not as funny to me as the other one was. So this is my joke. So you are hereby summoned to answer the complaint in this action and to serve a copy of your answer upon the plaintiff or his representative. If you fail to serve an answer upon the plaintiff within 30 days of receiving the summons, judgment will be taken against you by default for the relief demanded in the complaint pursuant to Illinois Rules of Civil Procedure, Section 2-1301, dated December 21st, 2017, Chicago, Illinois. Let's see what I wrote in the complaint. In the Circuit Court of Cook County, Illinois. Oh, this is, I picked Cook County because this was where road rage was, right? That was the joke. So that's where the transaction occurred. Plaintiff Asterios Kokonos, plaintiff, and by and through his attorney, Nicholas Rekieta of Rekieta Law, for his complaint alleges and affirms the following under penalty of perjury. Parties. Defendant Dick Masterson is a host of an internet science podcast called The Dick Show, which is a weekly production of having global distribution. Dick is also co-founder of a pretend marketing company, a published author, and White House liaison to the Small Face People's Advocacy Group. Dick hosted a live show at the Apollo Theater, no, not that one, in Chicago on or about December 2nd, 2017, in which plaintiff was hired as a contractor to perform comedy in front of a live audience. Dick's primary source of income related to the podcast is through his partnership with Patreon.com. Defendant Diego Diaz. Diego is a producer of the Dick Show podcast. Diego's role as a producer includes whatever Dick tells him to do, including but not limited to luggage transportation, contractor liaison, scheduling, audio production, video production, lighting, and other tasks. Diego was present at the aforementioned live show. Defendant Jordan Cope is a creator relations specialist at Patreon.com and personal liaison of Dick Masterson. Cope's job duties consist entirely of defending Patreon's interests in fees generated by Dick's usage of Patreon. As such, Dick's promotion of the live show through Patreon.com is an action Cope is required to defend. Defendant Rahm Emanuel, mayor, is a duly elected mayor of Chicago, the city hosting the live show. Defendant John Doe is the Uber driver who billed plaintiff for transportation during his time in Chicago. Defendant Uber Technologies, Inc. is an internet-based taxi cab style car service doing business in and around Chicago. Defendant Dara, I'm not going to try, is CEO of Uber, and all transportation and billing decisions of Uber are explicitly and implicitly endorsed by her personally, especially those occurring in the city of Chicago. Defendant Donald Trump, Drumpf, is President of the United States of America and endorses all activity that occurs within its borders. Jurisdiction. I don't want to read through this, guys. Like, you can find this. This is posted up on the Dick Show webpage. I think it's under fan art or something. It's obviously ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm getting really tired. Someone asked why I wasn't busting up laughing at the last thing. I wasn't, because I'm so tired. I've been driving for days. You should stick to law, Asterios caliber comedy. Yeah, I didn't say it was that funny. Hey, I said it specifically was less funny than the other. Anyway, so there's this silly thing. Obviously a joke. And all the parties that it was sent to knew it was a joke. Dummies. So here's episode 82. Dick on number 3 in space. I guess, was I on this one? Let's see. I might have been on this show. I don't remember. Otherwise, I have no idea why you put this in here. No idea. Literally no idea why that's there. Let's see. So here's Mad Cux's joke invoice. What is this doing in here? I have nothing to do with Mad Cux's joke invoice, you dork. Oh my. Okay. And Nick Rekieta and Paige. Oh, here. Okay. So this. Okay. Sorry. I misunderstood. I take it back. You're still a dork, but not for this. This is all part of the post from Dick's website. So he posted Mad Cux's thing. Nick Rekieta and Patreon.com's Asterios team up to hit me with a new Lolsuit. Regrettably, I didn't have much time to review the suit before we recorded the episode, and I hope I didn't spoil my defense by talking about it live on air. I will be consulting with my Dick Show lawyer, Kian Magana, before the next episode. So there's the summons, and then a link to the PDF. So it's apparently on episode, 82? Yeah. So there you go. There you go. I don't need to get it printed, buddy. I got the hard copy. It's two-sided, y'all. It's two-sided. Whoops. And still a half-inch thick. Still a half-inch thick. Anyway, so there's that. So that is the end of this document. Now, I promised at the beginning of the stream and in the middle and at several points throughout that I would talk about where this case is going. So if you're waiting around for that, thank you for sticking around. Let's talk about it. I will tell you this case is actually already resolved. All right? It's already resolved. So here we go. Let's just put it out there. Right there. Determination that discipline is not warranted without investigation. They didn't even deign to investigate it. After all of that, they did not bother investigating it, and here's why. Because I haven't violated any rules of professional conduct. Just because I mocked a lawsuit and I talked about public documents. That's still protected speech under the First Amendment. Get over it. I don't send anything to you. I will send you an email, again, inviting you to come on to my show when litigation is complete, and you can say your piece and you can mock me all you want. I'm sure you can find something. But let's see. Yeah, so this was discipline is not warranted. Now let's go through this because, you know, thoroughness. This is only 3 pages. I say only. I know it's a long stream and it's getting late. This is 3 pages long, so bear with me. 2, Kevin Landau. After reviewing the documents you submitted. Oh, Felix1942 says, you're going to put your first edition complaint on eBay? I don't know. After reviewing the documents you submitted, the director has determined not to investigate your complaint. The reasons for the director's decisions not to investigate this complaint are as follows. Complaint summary. You allege that attorney Nicholas Rekieta has taken an unethical interest in a pending case in New York in which you represent the plaintiff. Mr. Rekieta does not represent a party in that action and otherwise has no connection with that lawsuit. Specifically, you allege that Mr. Rekieta has engaged in professional misconduct by creating antagonistic video recordings about you that are critical of your representation of the plaintiff in the New York lawsuit. You allege that Mr. Rekieta designed the videos to incite, harass, ridicule, and threaten you and your clients in an attempt to negatively influence public perception of the New York lawsuit. You also allege that Mr. Rekieta has created other social media pages that are critical of you and your clients. You allege that Mr. Rekieta authored a fake pleading under the caption of the New York lawsuit. I didn't author that, and it wasn't under the caption. It was an obvious parody of the caption, you dolt. Elijah Watson says, at this point, it's getting early, not late. Yeah. Okay. Purporting to hold himself out as you, and he sent the fake pleading to the attorneys who represent the defendants in the matter. Nope. Absolutely did not and would not do that. Finally, you allege Mr. Rekieta has committed the unauthorized practice of law by accepting money in exchange for giving legal advice based largely on New York law, where you allege he is not admitted to practice. Reasons for decision not to investigate. The subject of your complaint is an attorney's allegedly improper actions outside the practice of law. This office has jurisdiction to consider allegations of attorney misconduct whether or not the actions were in the practice of law. The director also has discretion, however, to, quote, make such investigation as the director deems appropriate as to conduct of any lawyer or lawyers. Rule 8A, Rules on Lawyers' Professional Responsibility. In general, discretion has been exercised to investigate alleged attorney misconduct in matters outside his or her practice of law only when the allegations, if true, would constitute serious misconduct reflecting adversely on the attorney's fitness to practice law. See comment to Rule 8.4, Minnesota Rules of Professional Conduct. Although a lawyer is personally answerable to the entire criminal law, a lawyer should be professionally answerable only for offenses that indicate lack of those characteristics relevant to the practice of law. For the following reasons, the director has determined not to investigate your complaint. Allegedly harassing conduct. Your allegations that Mr. Rekieta is harassing you involve issues of law and fact that are more appropriately addressed, at least initially, in the context of a civil court proceeding. The director's office declines to be the forum in the first instance to resolve your dispute with Mr. Rekieta. If a court determines that Mr. Rekieta acted improperly in violation of the Minnesota Rules of Professional Conduct, you may resubmit your complaint at that time. Absent such prior determination, however, the director declines to investigate these allegations. These won't hold up in court because you lied about several things and stated things that I didn't do. And the things that you got right that I did do aren't illegal. Because I'm not contacting you. And I'm not lying about you. I'm not revealing private information about you. And you've never asked me to stop. Why haven't you just asked me to stop? Like, that's your first go-to. Guys, some not legal advice, but some personal advice. If someone is doing something you don't like, the first thing you should do is say, hey, will you please stop? It solves so many conflicts. Anyway, advertising. The Supreme Court of the United States has held that lawyers are permitted to advertise. Go figure. If you just watch TV, Landau, you'll see like 1,000 attorney ads. More by the day. They're all embarrassing and locally filmed and poorly produced, yes, but they are there. Does this count as slander or libel? You know, I don't. Technically, under the law, it might be libelous. It might be. But it'd be really hard to say that someone. It's really hard to say that someone exercising their right to a legal answer is acting in a slanderous or libelous way. But it's possible. Jesse Samuel Anderson, Maddox, and Jess go after jobs. Now Landau does HTFI. Okay. Okay. As a general proposition, Rules 7.1 through 7.5 MRPC allow lawyers to use certain communications to advertise and to solicit professional employment. To the extent that your complaint alleges that Mr. Rekieta has improperly advertised legal services or otherwise benefited financially from his YouTube videos, your complaint does not state a basis for reasonable belief that misconduct may have occurred in violations of 7.1 through 7.5, because it didn't. Simple. Unauthorized practice of law. Your complaint also does not state a basis for reasonable belief that Mr. Rekieta has committed the unauthorized practice of law. You allege in your complaint that Mr. Rekieta has committed the unauthorized practice of law by accepting money to answer legal questions that largely concern New York law. The funds paid to Mr. Rekieta are for the purpose of having a greater chance one's question is answered during one of Mr. Rekieta's broadcasts. This is true. However, it does not appear that Mr. Rekieta has formed any attorney-client relationship. If you are paying me in a super chat and think I am helping you legally, we need to have a further discussion outside of super chat. Like, if you would ever pay a lawyer for legal advice by super chat, like real in-depth legal advice, please don't. Please don't do that. Oh my goodness. Okay, Mr. Rekieta is not admitted to practice law in New York. Your complaint does not present facts that demonstrate that he has formed an attorney-client relationship with any specific party involving a New York matter. It's because I haven't, ever. The director's office is limited to investigating complaints of unprofessional conduct and prosecuting disciplinary actions against attorneys. It cannot represent you in any legal matter or give legal advice. You must retain an attorney if either legal advice or representation is desired. Notice of right to appeal. Blah, 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 blah. You can appeal all of this. Signed by Susan M. Humiston, Director of the Office of Lawyers' Professional Responsibility. She wrote her signature block, but it's signed by Timothy M. Burke, the Deputy Director. So, William Loken, I have no idea. That will involve calculating up after the fact and then, figuring out YouTube's cut. So there you have it, guys. I guess the next step is to wait and see if Landau tries to sue me in civil court. But, yeah, That's a good question, Artemis Arrow. If you guys have any questions, by the way, I'll take a little time of open questioning, but it's really late. I'm really tired. So, and I've been driving a lot, and I really kind of want to go to bed. So TLDR, Sadcast Media is officially 0 for 4 in legal battles against us. Yep, pretty much. This is like on a real talk level. This is really, really frustrating. Because I haven't violated the law. I have not violated the rules of professional conduct. To have him send this to the lawyer's office of professional conduct is a little... It explains or it is consistent with the character we've seen demonstrated of Kevin Landau. He's a litigious lawyer, filing motions like crazy, asking for sanctions against everybody, wanting everybody punished for everything that he perceives as a slight. I don't know if this is a strategy. How did you get this decision back so quickly? Was it also in the mail when you got back? Yeah, I went by my office today. I got home like at 8, and I went to the grocery store, stopped by my office, checked my mail, and it was in there. Should make a cut of Exhibit E, because that was the funniest thing I've heard in weeks. Does this show up on your record somewhere? I don't think so. I don't know. This is my first ethics complaint, y'all. So there you go. There's that. Can I sue them for slander? I'm maybe, but I'm not going to bother. Like, what? For what? That wastes everybody's time and money. Does this hurt my record? No. Does me making songs about Landau F things up for you guys? Serious question. I don't think so. You're not making them for me. I'm not asking you to do anything. So, might mess things up for you apparently, because I guess anybody who makes fun of Kevin might be on the block, on the chopping block. So, just because Rekieta Law is a lawyer doesn't mean he wants to sue everybody. At least I hope. No, I really don't. Talk about the Asterios countersuit, losing job. Okay. Will the board see this as a waste of time, and will it hurt Landau? No, it won't hurt him at all because he's in a different jurisdiction. I think it appears they did see it as a waste of time. I don't know if they'll continue to do that. What do I think of Asterios' wife? Hold on just a second. I get why Landau does stuff when Maddox is paying for it, but why does he think he can possibly gain from something this dumb? I don't know. I don't know what I think, honestly, and this is my opinion, I think this is the way he thinks that he can get back at me, is to try and tarnish my professional reputation. Because apparently that's who these people are, right? Maddox, Landau, Jess, they go after jobs, they go after reputations, they try and make people look bad, they try and misrepresent things to make people look worse. It's all a bunch of nonsense. Think that reading this out on stream would be similar to baring your teeth to a feral dog and be inviting Kevin to take it further and sue. That is a risk, absolutely. I think he'd be dumb to waste his time suing for stuff that's not illegal. And I think that's probably why he went to the Professional Responsibility Board, is because lawyers can do things that aren't illegal but are unethical and get disciplined for it. And that's probably what he was banking on. Is there a limit to how much vexatious crap Landau can get away with? Against individuals, yes. BS scare tactic, filing a complaint to get you to maybe stop streaming, which worked swimmingly, right? Could this be used as evidence against Landau in the future? I mean, maybe. I don't know. Where were you when you realized personal professional reputation was 2 years old? Right here. Am I on the block for making thumbnails knowing Landau? Maybe. Yes, this is the Maddox with 287,000 and falling subs. All right, so what do I... Let's jump into a couple things here. Asterios' wife, that was bizarre. I was on vacation. I was trying not to follow things as much as I do. And so I did not see all of it. Her Reddit post was weird. I don't see the need for her to do this. I'm not sure what she was trying to gain out of it. So that was a little crazy. Yeah. Then let's see. Okay, so someone asked about Asterios's countersuit. I mean, if his legal counsel thinks it's wise to do, go for it. I don't know what the basis will be. If Asterios countersues, I will obviously cover it. Obviously. Absolutely. But there's some difficult claims there, depending on what they're going to argue. So I'm not sure. I'll have to see what, if it's Greenberger. Oh, excuse me. I have to see what Greenberger comes up with. But unless he already filed, like, did I miss the filing? Again, I've been driving. I've been out of town, so I don't know. But if once he files, if I haven't seen it, someone send it to me. But I'll be covering it. Absolutely. Is it a common thing for lawyers to look at and provide their opinions on another lawyer's public case documents? I have no idea. So I guess no. I don't know. I don't know what people do. I know lawyers talk about legal issues all the time and give opinions on various things. They talk about what the law means. They talk about what it could mean for future cases. They talk about what people are doing right and wrong. So who knows? I honestly didn't think another document as bad as the Lolsuit could exist. Me either. What's the future of law looking like in America? Where'd that go? Are there more Landaus up and coming? Man, I mean, I hope not. You know, you always hope that you get attorneys who do not jump to litigation at every step. It's expensive. It's costly. It's horrible on the clients. It's just not a good thing. I got 4 DUIs during this live stream. Should I still keep drinking on my way home? I'm not giving you any legal advice, Clay. Clay's roommate says, isn't this protected under free speech? Can't we critique someone's performance in their field of work? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely can. Especially when the documents are public. Period. And again, if, if there was something where I was like harassing him, and by harassing, I mean the legal, like where I'm following him around, sending him a bunch of mail or email or phone calls or something that would be disturbing his life, there'd be a different story here, but we're not. I'm broadcasting, people watch, that's it. I thought you only traveled, not drive. True. Yes. Thank you for correcting me. I'll go bleep that out. Derek Gooley, did Asterios leave this live stream after he realized there was no way he could profit off of it? I have no idea. I don't know if he's out or not. Landau has passed beyond beta. He's a low T gamma at this point. He lost his job and keeps posting about it. Yeah, I saw that he lost his job with Weber, and that he's been posting a lot. The claims are going to be tough. We'll see. And it really depends on what Weber, provides as a reason for dismissal. If he was dismissed. Don't actually know for sure that he was dismissed unless he said that. Says he lost his job. That could mean that he resigned of his own. I just saw the stream was up. Could you quickly TLDR the situation? Fuzz got games. Sure, buddy. Landau filed an ethics complaint against me. I did not even respond to it. It was dismissed. Discipline is not warranted. There's no investigation or anything that happens. It's gone. Thanks for this. Can't wait for this to really play out. Why is Maddox suing for $400 million when the real treasure is all the co-conspirators he found along the way? No kidding. Clay says, I'm actually kind of curious since you were a fan. Current shave blade brand you use. I have a trimmer, but I get straight razor shaves from my dude Adrian at Universal Cuts. He's just down the way from me. I'm curious, would calling this guy names while critiquing his BS even be considered defamation? Doesn't defamation have to incur some measurable damage to reputation? Sometimes damage can be presumed. You don't always have to show it. But you in any sort of case, you have to have injury. So he would be saying there was presumed damages, for which would be a stretch. That typically, in my understanding, only happens in per se defamation, which would be like if I accused him of committing a crime or something. But yeah, he'd be lacking the damages element of defamation for sure. And he's also lacking the factual statements that are false. There are lots of opinion statements that he doesn't like, I'm sure, but factual statements that are false are missing. Clay's roommate, thanks God this was not in any way harassment. This was just pointing out how terrible he is at his job. Finally, the law makes sense. What's that talk of Asterios' wife? Is he a divorcee or something? Yes. Asterios was married to a different comedian. I don't know any of the details. But if you go on Reddit, she posted about it, and you can get her side of the story. And if you go on Twitter, you can see Peach and other people talking to her. If you appeared on a podcast to explain the ridiculous lawsuit you just won, would you go out of your way to avoid mentioning the main target of the suit by name in his podcast? I don't know. I'm trying to... Oh, I don't know. I mean, no, I wouldn't. Oh, she deleted it. Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, I don't know. There's a story. There's a story out there somewhere. Clay can't afford a super chat, but I'll say this anyway. All right. Yeah. So from what I understand, his ex-wife is also a comedian, and she is allergic to the earth. Something like that. And Asterios has been helping her out, trying to find her lodging that helps her with her allergies and stuff like that. Chris Griffith says you should ask if Leroy or anyone else covering the Lolsuit got any kind of mail like this. Not the CIA. Have a great night. You too, buddy. Yeah, I'll have to ask. By the way, Chris, it was nice meeting you out in down there in sunny Florida. It was hotter up here when I got back than it was down there. So that's sad. All right, guys. I'm going to blank out the stream and end it. Thanks for watching. There's so many of you. That is awesome. I really appreciate it. I got back and saw this in my mailbox and, figured I'd go ahead and share it with you guys. So anyway, peace. I'm going to blank the screen. When it goes blank on my end, I'll end the stream just to make sure all the things go through. Sorry, it was sort of choppy. Hopefully that smoothed out, but, who knows? Anyway, peace, guys. I'll talk to you later. Lots of stuff is coming. The Sesame Street lawsuit and all that stuff. It's all coming. Lots of content. So, should have had a Sesame Street video tonight, but Kevin Landau decided to ruin that. Anyway, thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later. The Skit Show says, do one more drink with me. Sure, buddy. This is, I'm just going to pour a little bit. Thanks, man. Take it easy.